From the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, this is Kansas City Chiefs football. Preseason game number 2, Chiefs versus the Rams. Alex Smith and the Chiefs ready to go in LA. With Trent Green, BJ Kissel on the sideline, I'm Carter Blackburn. Rather than talking about how the way preseason game number 1 ended, let's talk about how preseason game number 1 started. An excellent start for the Chiefs in the number 1 offense.
You know, it was. They started with the opening kickoff. Nile Davis bringing it out of the end zone, giving them good field position. But then it started with the combination of the running game, passing game. First it started with the short passing game. Alex Smith utilizing the underneath routes to the tight ends and then running the football through the interior part of the line. And then the big play by Alex Smith on third down, buying some time, getting outside the pocket, working with Jeremy Maclin down the sideline, getting knocked out at the 1 before they punched it in. So offensively, for the Chiefs, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
And we take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Sprint, beginning with that offensive line with Parker Anger again at left guard, Eric Fisher holding down left tackle, and you saw the man who took it into the end zone at the end of that drive, Spencer Ware, expected to play another big role in 2016.
Well, and Spencer Ware was re-signed this offseason, comes into the offensive backfield for the Chiefs and shows great vision and great patience. This time against the Raiders, he also shows power, ripping through that arm tackle and getting into the end zone. But what he has the 3 elements that are important for a running back to have. He has patience, let the linemen set up the blocks. He has vision to make that cutback, and then he has the burst to be able to get through the arm tackles.
And the receivers will again be led by Jeremy Maclin, who had that grab near the goal line to set up the touchdown for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, target number 2 for the number 1s. And a big boost for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jamal Charles, not in LA, won't play in this game, but he's back on the practice field.
Well, and that's important for the Chiefs as well to understand that this is one of your leaders. This is one of your guys. Yes, last year you got a good combination with Charkandrick West and Spencer Ware, but Jamal Charles is the guy. They utilize him so much, not only in the rushing game, but in the receiving game as well, because he can catch the ball out of the backfield. You can split him out wide. You can do a lot of different things with him. It's good to have him back on the field.
As we take a look at the defensive starters for Bob Sutton's defense, so dominant in 2015. These are the starters up front with Dontari Poe again in the middle, flanked by Allen Bailey and Jay Howard. But we expect to see a lot of the rookie Chris Jones.
Well, it's important to understand this defensive front is really the nucleus of this defensive team. You talk about the safeties with Eric Berry, you talk about the corners with Marcus Peters, the linebackers with Derek Johnson, but this defensive front is really where the power of this defense comes from, and Chris Jones is a nice complement.
And the linebackers still know Justin Houston, Josh Mago, or Tamba Hali, so you see March and Zombo starting along with Derek Johnson and D. Ford expected to play a much bigger role, and maybe we'll see it tonight like we saw in 15.
Well, we need to see some of this tonight. Coming off the edge here against San Diego, a game in which he had 3 sacks last season. We have to see that type of pressure from D. Ford on a consistent basis. And then also, Bob Sutton requires these guys to go into pass coverage. Here he does a nice job against the Chargers, knocking the ball away in the end zone.
And Andy Reid says keep an eye in the defensive backfield. Game 2 could tell a lot as to who's going to start opposite corner. Steve Nelson gets the start at corner. We also expect to see DJ White and Eric Murray, but this is a big opportunity for Steve Nelson.
Well, you go back to last week's game. He played the entire first half. He looks to get as much work as he did a week ago. He expects him to get tonight as well.
At the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, site of Super Bowl I, or maybe as it was better known, the AFL-NFL Championship game. Back in sunny Southern California, lovely day here in Los Angeles at the home of the 1932 and 1984 Olympic Games, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. For more on the LA ties, here's BJ Kissel.
Thanks, Carter. Both Chiefs coach Andy Reid and Rams coach Jeff Fisher grew up here in Los Angeles. The house that Andy Reid grew up in is actually only about 10 miles from the stadium here. He went to John Marshall High School while Fisher went to Taft High School across town. The two never actually played against one another, but they were on an all-star team together. And what was a pretty cool moment before the game here, members of both of those high school programs were out on the field during the national anthem, got to be a part of the coin toss. Pretty special for those guys and pretty special for these two head coaches squaring off here in their hometown.
And oh, by the way, Andy Reid said if his Marshall High School had in fact faced off against Fisher's Taft High School, he said no question we would have cleaned them.
Would you expect them to say anything different than that? Exactly.
Still, yeah, the rivalries still
That's right.
roll. In fact, Andy Reid said the last time he was in the Coliseum was probably when he was a student at BYU back home on break watching USC play. So it's It's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while. I know for me, the last time I was in here was 1993, my rookie year when I was with the Chargers playing the LA Raiders here. So it's a little weird to be back.
So Andy Reid, the LA native, back here in Southern California for preseason game number 2. It's Niall Davis back to turn the opening kickoff. LA won the opening toss and deferred. So KC will receive with Niall Davis back. Line to kick it off. With another solid crowd here at the LA Memorial Coliseum. Both these teams had dramatic preseason week 1 games. LA coming back to beat the Cowboys. Chiefs losing in the final seconds to Seattle. So it will be a touchback. Chiefs will have it at the 25. Here's What to Watch, presented by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs.
Well, we talked on it on the open, but it's about D Ford tonight. He's going to have a great opportunity to showcase, get a lot of work in, and it's the Chiefs' offensive line going against quite possibly the best defensive line in all of football, and then the wide receiver depth. Who's going to step up and be the 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the Chiefs behind Jeremy Maclin?
Alex Smith, we expect to see more of Smith here in preseason game number 2. It was just the opening series last week, leading the touchdown, 3 for 4. The one incompletion was just dumping it to the sideline. So nearly a perfect start for Smith to throw on first down, and that's complete to the outside to Travis Kelce, who shakes his way near the 35.
Well, and that's what makes Travis Kelce so special. He's one of the best tight ends in the National Football League in yards after catch. Just like last week, the Chiefs are opening up with short throws to the tight end, this time getting the ball in the hands of Travis Kelce, and there he is making the first guy miss, getting up the field and picking up the extra 5 yards.
So Kelce makes the grab. We see Chris Conley in at wide receiver. Second and short. Smith out of the shotgun. It's Ware who has the first carry and who has the first down for the Chiefs. Spencer Ware, the third-year pro out of LSU, who had the huge 2015 season. And when we talked to him yesterday, he talked about how the confidence the Chiefs organization showed in him helped his confidence when he got the opportunity to get on the field after the Jamal Charles injury in 2015.
Well, and you got to remember his first start was against Buffalo, had over 100 yards rushing and averaged 6 yards a carry on that. So he had a pretty good first start in the NFL.
Ware again following the block from the fullback Anthony Sherman. So Spencer Ware, the Cincinnati native who went to LSU to play baseball and football. Started 2015 on the practice squad. 6 rushing touchdowns, including in the playoff win against Houston.
Well, and it's impressive what this offensive line has been able to do, like we just mentioned, and what to watch. This offensive line has a great challenge against the defensive front of the Los Angeles Rams because of the pressure that they like to bring, because of the way they like to shoot the gaps, and it's going to be important for them to be physical.
Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
Tony Correnti, our referee, and right on cue, as we talk about the offensive line, you get some movement. That's Parker Anger at left guard, rookie who has seemingly solidified that left guard position.
He's done a nice job in camp. He really has solidified that spot. When you talk about Zach Fulton was maybe the other guy that was going to have an opportunity there, but Zach is such a valuable member of the front because he can play center and both guard positions, whereas Anger is anchored in there at that left guard spot.
So Smith to throw again on second down. That's complete to Demetrius Harris. First 2 catches again go to the tight ends.
Well, it's almost the same blueprint as a week ago. Get the ball out of Alex Smith's hands quickly. Don't let him stand back there in the pocket and take some shots. Go ahead and make a quick read. Here's an accurate throw to the outside shoulder away from the pursuing linebacker on the inside shoulder. So excellent ball placement by Alex Smith allows him to get the extra yards after the catch by Demetrius Harris.
Played basketball in college, grew up in Arkansas. 5th play opening drive. This is the first third down that the Chiefs have faced here against the Rams. Smith, time to throw again. Quick hitter over the middle is complete. It's Kelce who makes the grab again across midfield as the Chiefs convert on third down.
Well, and that's what Travis Kelce brings. Here he's matched up against T.J. McDonald, an excellent safety for the Rams. And Kelce, because he's such a big body, because he's so athletic, he can get position on a safety. You see there, he has great position, and of course, once again, Alex Smith with the accurate throw keeps the ball away from the defender, and they're able to pick up the first down.
And look at Hypermo, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Alex Smith 3 for 3 opening drive. Back to pass again. Smith, there is a flag down. Pass is complete to the outside. It's Macklin who hauls it in, but now we check the flag. Gain of 19 if it stands.
Holding defense, number 52. This penalty is declined. The result for the play is a first down.
So call it a 19-yard pickup for Jeremy Macklin.
You're going to see Alex right here is going to be the hold coming out of the back. They called it on 52 right there. Grabbing a hold of Sherman coming out of the backfield. But you could see the pressure that Alex was under immediately. Once again, it was a quick throw getting the ball out of his hands, so he's not taking a shot. Good penetration by the Rams that time, but Alex with an accurate throw up the field.
Penalty on Alec Ogletree, so 1st and 10. Smith to throw again. Incomplete intended for Macklin on the first incompletion from Alex Smith.
It seems like a small thing, but Macklin did miss a couple days of practice this week, nursing an injury a little bit, and the timing on that throw just didn't seem there. Alex looked like he had good footwork, looked like the timing of the throw. He tried laying it to the outside, just the timing wasn't there.
As an opening drive touchdown last week, opening drive into Rams territory now, inside the 30. Smith's going to turn and hand to Spencer Ware. Nothing much doing on the right side with a good push from that Rams defensive line. It is a deep defensive line, as you mentioned, Trent. Aaron Donald and the bunch up front, but big test, especially for the second unit of the Chiefs' offensive line, and Andy Reid typically try to juggle that offensive line. So there's going to be some determinations made as we go deeper in this one.
Well, and the defensive coordinator for the Rams is Greg Williams, who's a very aggressive defensive coordinator. I don't know if he necessarily will be in the preseason.
3rd and 8. Smith delivers. Macklin makes the grab. Close to the first down. He appears to have it.
Even if he doesn't have it, Carter, I think they'll go for it. But based on the spot, it looks like he does have it.
1st and 10.
You'll see Macklin isolated over to the left. Alex's eyes are there the entire time, but you see, looks like Ross Travis was clearing out Ogletree out of the middle there and allowed Macklin to pick up that first down.
So into the red zone inside the Rams 20-yard line. Smith under center. Ware trying to cut it back. Picks his way to near the 15. Now, you talked about how the Williams defense is typically very aggressive, but it is a bit of a different beast in the preseason, right?
Well, and we touched on that last week a little bit with Bob Sutton, because Bob Sutton likes to bring pressure. He likes to bring different combinations of linebackers and safeties. Sometimes we'll put 6 defensive backs in, only 2 defensive linemen, different combinations of things, but you're going to be a little bit more vanilla. You want to see what your guys can do in just the one-on-one matchups. Very similar to what I think we'll see out of the Rams tonight.
Smith out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Pressured, so Smith takes off, slides to near the 13 to bring up 3rd down. Smith is forced out of the pocket. Keem Ayers makes the stop.
Alex with his eyes upfield and with the pressure coming up to his right finds that window to the right to take off. I would have liked to have seen him stay with the route a little longer, but that's one of those things up here it's easy to do, but the receivers could all be going from right to left, so there's sometimes you scramble to the right and all the guys are flushing to the left side of the field and you don't have anywhere to go with it.
Smith 2 for 2 on 3rd down on this opening drive for the Chiefs. 12th play of the drive. Smith to the outside, delivers again. Another 3rd down conversion. It's Chris Conley who makes the grab as the Chiefs roll inside the 5.
Well, this is a nice route by Conley. He's going up against Tremaine Johnson, a corner that the Rams feel very highly about, and Conley just with a stop route, a back shoulder stop route. It's a timing thing. It's all just a 1-2-3, get the ball out of your hands. It's a timing deal you have with your receivers. That's hard for anybody to defend, and Conley looking right back into the sun as the sun's setting on that side of the stadium does does an excellent job of hauling it in.
Smith 6 for 7 on the opening drive. First and goal. Where straight ahead. Touchdown Chiefs. Just like the opening drive from a week ago. It's Smith nearly perfect. And then Spencer Ware takes it in for a Kansas City touchdown.
During the open, we talked about the patience that Spencer Ware has, and that's not an easy thing to teach, especially to young backs. And this is only Spencer Ware's 3rd year in the league, so he's still a young back. You see the patience he showed there. He let the blocks set themselves up. He very easily could have tried bouncing that to the outside and trying to utilize speed to get around the edge. But look how he just waits. He waits. He finds that crease, and then once he sees that crease, he's able to go.
So 2 drives for the Chiefs' number 1 offense with Alex Smith in at quarterback, both resulting in touchdowns. Smith 9 for 11 now in the 2 preseason games, leading 2 touchdown drives, both capped by Spencer Ware. This one goes 13 plays. Santos' PAT is good. And just like it was to begin the preseason, a near perfect start for Alex Smith and the Chiefs offense. Now they take it to LA and Ware into the end zone. 7-0. Another successful drive for Smith and the Chiefs. DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy sports destination. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer. The Kansas City Steak Company. Taste, it matters. And by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Drive, our Kansas City Steak scoring drive. 13 plays, 80 yards. A Spencer Ware 2-yard touchdown run. So you look at what the Chiefs offense with Alex Smith did on the opening drive last week versus tonight. Pretty similar with excellent execution from that first team offense.
Well, and not to get ahead of myself here, but if things continue going the way they are, they're going to get Alex Smith out of there. They're just going to, you know, if they're able to put another, even a field goal drive or something like that, I think you've seen enough of Alex, and go ahead and get Nick Foles some playing time behind that first offensive line.
That's Pharaoh Cooper who's going to bring it out of the end zone for the Rams, and he is dropped short of the 20. So Alex Smith reviewing that last drive, and he's got to be pleased with what he sees. Matt Nagy. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. There are more people here tonight than witnessed what we now know as Super Bowl I, officially the AFL-NFL championship game. So the first meeting between the champions of the AFL and NFL, 17 future Hall of Famers, including Mr. Dawson. The Packers won it 35-10. Big second half for the Packers. So, and then of course it came to be known as the Super Bowl, and Lamar Hunt's great letter, I have kiddingly called it the Super Bowl, which obviously can be improved upon. And then sure enough, I think that name ended up sticking. A little bit more catchy than AFL NFL championship game, jokingly calling it the Super Bowl.
A lot of history at this stadium.
And another good crowd on hand to watch the Rams in preseason game number 2. It was come from behind win over the Cowboys in preseason game number 1. So Jay Howard making the stop on first down there with Case Keenum at quarterback for the Rams. Todd Gurley in the backfield. Last year's offensive rookie of the year. Pass to the outside is complete as the Rams go rolling against the Chiefs D out to the 40-yard line. That's Kenny Britt who makes the grab.
Well, there's some confusion in the coverage there. DJ White was in at corner against Kenny Britt. And he either gets confused with the call. You'll see that he's running to the inside. You'll see him coming onto your picture here. Leaving Britt wide open on the sideline.
So Keenum on first down. Play action. Deep shot from Keenum. Looking downfield and incomplete, but flags are going to come down for pass interference. Coming on Ron Parker.
Well, and that's one thing that this Rams offense wants to do is they want to get vertical. They have the speed to get vertical.
Defense number 38. Automatic first down.
Anytime you don't turn around, you get that kind of contact. That was an easy call for the officials. But we talked about who's going to play the opposite corner other than Marcus Peters, right? And so there's been rotation. Last week, Steve Nelson got a lot of playing time. He's back in the game now, but you're going to see rotation with DJ White. You're going to see Kivari Russell. There's a lot of young guys that are going to get opportunities. Eric Murray's been in there.
Gurley gets the carry, finds his way to near the 12. He's tripped up by Derek Johnson, who'll get credit for the tackle.
Well, it's nice to have Derek Johnson back in there once again. There's Bob Sutton, defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. Puts a lot of responsibility on the linebackers, and they want the defensive front to really control things, but it's about them opening lanes for the linebackers to come up and be able to get those tackles as we look at Derek Johnson, who's now the all-time leading tackler in Chiefs history.
Yep, Steve Nelson and Eric Murray both in the defensive backfield now as Gurley tries to bounce it outside. Gurley shoves his way inside the 5, so it's 1st and goal as Todd Gurley gets his first preseason action for the Rams. Johnson and Parker credited with the stop.
Well, and Eric Murray, you'll see 21 collapsing down. He doesn't realize the speed that Gurley has to get to the outside. As a young player, as a rookie, Eric Murray's going to understand, even though Gurley's a big guy, he's got the speed to get around that edge, so you have to maintain your lanes and keep him hemmed up, so you got to turn him back into where your other defenders are.
1st and goal for the Rams. Their opening drive against the Chiefs D. It's Gurley straight ahead. Gurley into the end zone for a Rams touchdown. Gurley, who sat out the preseason last year and missed preseason game number 1. So that's his first preseason action in the NFL, and he has a touchdown to cap Rams opening drive.
Well, and Rams defensively, or I'm sorry, the Chiefs defensively not being able to capitalize like they did a week ago against Seattle, where they gave up some yardage on that first drive, but then were able to get the big turnover, the interception by Marcus Peters near the end zone last week. This time not being able to get that same kind of turnover, and Gurley putting him in position to tie things up.
Going to be a lot of defenders who look like that with Todd Gurley as his NFL career progresses. Lines PAT makes it 7-all. So Alex Smith and the Chiefs, after the successful opening drive, get the football back in what is a tie game, 7-7. Chiefs Kingdom in Southern California. Watched Alex Smith and the Chiefs go on an opening drive touchdown. So 7-7 after Todd Gurley takes it in for the Rams in their second game in their new home at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. First time they were the LA Rams is when they moved from Cleveland in the 1940s.
Well, you said new home, right? This is their new home for the next 3 years. Yeah?
Right,
and
exactly,
then,
before the...
And then they're going to challenge Jerry Jones for stadium amenities and size, right?
Yes. Yes, and everything that goes along with it.
Exactly.
Everything that goes along with it. Niall Davis is going to scoop it up near the goal line. And Davis gets a block as he gets across the 20. Niall Davis shaking his way near the 30-yard line, out of bounds at the 29. Let's take a look at the Hy-Vee drive of the half, opening drive for the Chiefs.
Well, they put it together back-to-back weeks now. Last week against Seattle, of course, tonight here against the Rams. Underneath to Travis Kelce, picking up a big first down against TJ McDonald, and then Conley one-on-one on the outside, picking up another key first down on 3rd down, and then Ware slugging it into the end zone.
And unlike last week when Alex Smith came out after the opening drive touchdown, we will see Smith come out for at least the second drive here. The Chiefs will take it from the 29. Ware joins Smith in the backfield. From the shotgun, Smith pressured, tries to dump it off to Kelce. He makes the grab and gain of 9. If you know someone who makes our community a better place to live, work, and play, visit Chiefs.com/firstpass and nominate them to throw out the first pass at Arrowhead this season. Chiefs First Pass is powered by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
You know, Carter, I like what the Chiefs did on that play. They're going to, well, looks like the replay flag is thrown by Jeff Fisher. I like what the Chiefs did on that play. They had 3 tight ends in the game, and that creates matchup problems for any defense because of the athleticism of the Chiefs tight ends.
Los Angeles is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
So Jeff Fisher throws the challenge flag, and now our replay official Tommy Moore will take a look along with Pete Morelli. So catch or not, we will take a look and let you know if that stands for Kelsey and the Chiefs when we come back to LA. Between the Chiefs and the Rams here in Los Angeles, as the Rams have challenged whether this is a catch, rule to catch on the field.
And to me, it looks like it hits the ground right there as he's rolling over, and then when he goes to end up out of bounds, he never really secures the ball. So I think this is incomplete a couple different ways. But Pete Morelli's back out on the field now. We're going to get his ruling.
After review, the pass hit the ground, therefore it is an incomplete pass. It will be Kansas City's ball, 2nd down and 10 at the 29-yard line. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 4:59. 4:59. Thank you. Los Angeles will not be charged with a timeout.
And you thought from the look we saw probably not a catch for Kelsey.
Yeah, it just didn't look like he secured the catch. So that was the right call. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, that was the right call.
So 2nd and 10 on the second drive for Alex Smith and the Chiefs offense. Out of the shotgun, Smith is going to be dropped after scrambling for just a couple of yards. Eugene Sims makes the stop on Smith to bring up 3rd down.
They've been able to get a lot of inside penetration through those A and B gaps that causing Alex to flush up in the pocket. So they've got to get that squared away from a pass protection standpoint. Bringing up a 3rd and long.
So those A and B gaps around centers and guards, right?
A gaps between centers and guards, B gaps between guards and tackles. Yes. I got into some,
I
flash back into my old world there a little bit. So this, yes, A gap is guards and center, and B gap is guards and tackles.
Blitz coming off the edge. Smith dropped back at the 30. So he'll take a sack on 3rd down as the Rams defense closes in on Smith. Michael Brockers in there on Alex Smith.
See the pressure that the Rams bring off the edge. Maybe causing a little bit of confusion over who's matched up on who.
So a 3 and out for the Chiefs offense after the opening drive touchdown. Dustin Colquitt hits it at the 20. That's Pharaoh Cooper back to grab it for the Rams. Cooper slips away for a moment, and finally the Chiefs rally to bring him down near the 21-yard line. So Cooper dropped. Rams offense back on the field against the Chiefs team. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, side of the great Wattstax concert in 1972. More on that later. Fantasy football contests begin as soon as the regular season kicks off. Huge cash prizes on the line. Head to DraftKings.com now to draft your lineup. Play for free with promo code CHIEFS. Only at DraftKings.com. Guns N' Roses played last night after making their way through Arrowhead recently. That was at Dodger Stadium up the road.
Is that where you were last night? I was wondering what happened to you.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Just a nice piece of fish, early bedtime, nothing to do around Los Angeles. Just studying the notes.
That's right.
Studying the notes and getting ready for Chiefs-Rams preseason game number 2.
Well, DJ White there knocking the ball loose, being able to get some coverage. Steve Nelson is in the game at the corner. They moved DJ White in on the inside that time. We mentioned that at the top, Carter. You talked about the fact they're going to be shuffling in a bunch of different safeties and corners, trying to solidify who's going to be in the backfield for the Chiefs defensively.
Going in motion now. Rams rolling again across the 30-yard line. That's Benny Cunningham in and running back now for the Rams. So Johnson finishes it off, but that was exactly what Andy Reid said, with DJ White at corner and Steve Nelson at corner and Eric Murray getting a lot of look at safety, trying to identify who the other pieces are going to be in the secondary.
Well, and for a lot of the young guys, it's also going to have the special teams part of it. Is another angle you have to try and solidify your spot. And so, you know, these guys, this is a great opportunity for these young players to get a chance to get snaps and get themselves on tape.
3rd and short. Cunningham shakes his way outside, and he's shoved out by Ron Parker, but first down. So DJ White, impressive last week in the opener in preseason game number 1, both defensively and special teams. You go back to this play when he was in college in his Georgia Tech days against Pitt, and a heck of a play coming from behind on the Pitt running back, James Conner.
Well, the thing it does, it shows you two things. Number one, it shows you closing speed, the fact that he can chase him down from behind like that. And the second thing is that he didn't give up on the play. Very easily could have not finished it the way that he did. So those are two impressive traits you see on that one play.
Keenum delivers. Nice strike over the middle, complete at the 45-yard line. And it is Eric Murray who makes the stop after a gain of 15 yards. Lance Kendricks makes the grab.
Well, and Dontari Poe is going to get great pressure on Case Keenum. Watch as Keenum is about to throw this ball. Comes off the play fake, but Dontari Poe puts a nice shot on him. Keenum's able to step into the throw, though, and make an accurate one up the field.
Across the 50 was a touchdown drive last time. Cunningham, nothing much doing up the middle. And we talked to Dontari Poe yesterday. I asked him, all right, what do you think? What do you think it would surprise people about your position and your job? He says, there's nothing surprising about it. It's exactly what it looks like. I'm a nose tackle in the National Football League. You got to get down, you got to get dirty, you got to get a good push, because that's my job.
It's keep it simple, right? Why confuse it? Why try to make it something elaborate when it's not, right? He's got, as we learned a little bit earlier in the game, he's got the A-gaps. You know, he's just got to get up the field.
Cunningham breaks his way through a B-gap on the left side, and Cunningham's going to take it inside the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 19. Murray again makes a stop.
Well, and so much about what Bob Sutton's defense is. It's about your lanes. It's about being disciplined. It's about being in the right spot. You know, everybody has their assignment. If you decide to freelance and go off on your own, or maybe you see something that the offense is doing and you're trying to guess and jump inside, all of a sudden it's a very disciplined defense. And right now the Chiefs aren't doing that sufficiently.
Low snap. Keenum handles it. Slant to the 20. Chiefs rally to the football with Marcus Peters there in coverage. Parker's going to get half the stop as well.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Our score is 7-7. We'll return after these messages. You're watching Chiefs preseason football from Los Angeles. 7-all at the end of one. As we get set for the start of the second quarter here from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The day after every Chiefs win, get 50% off regular menu price online orders using promo code KCChiefs at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, the official pizza partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Carter Blackburn, Trent Green, BJ Kissel on the sideline. As the Rams with Case Keenum at quarterback, we do expect to see number 1 overall pick Jared Goff soon for the Rams, but it's Keenum leading this Rams drive. 2nd and 3, and it's Malcolm Brown in at running back as the Rams try to make it 2 touchdowns and 2 drives against the Chiefs D.
Well, and Allen Bailey is able to get back into the backfield and has a chance to get a tackle for loss, just not able to bring him down. As you said, Carter, this is the second drive in a row now that the Rams have been able to do a nice combination of run-pass and get up the field. They need to, Chiefs defensively have to keep them out of the end zone, hold them to a field goal.
Rams are averaging over 7 yards per carry. However, this will help. D Ford gets in there along with Peters and with Allen Bailey on the stop.
The other thing, they could also get a turnover too. That'd be good too.
There you go.
That's right.
Pretty good push from Bailey up front.
See the defense rally to the ball.
And looking Hypermo, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Derek Johnson, the penetration as well to make it 2nd and 9. Keenum from the shotgun to the outside. Inside the 5, near the goal line. Pharaoh Cooper, and he is in for the touchdown. Well, Pharaoh Cooper, touchdown to give the Rams the lead.
Well, as an offensive guy, you call this a rub route. As a defensive guy, you call it a pick. They had 3 receivers lined up to the left. Because it's ruled a touchdown on the field, it'll automatically be looked at up in the booth. But the Rams lined up 3 receivers to the left, and they just flooded that side. They had the 2 inside guys that had the slot guy go up and make a little pick or rub. The other outside guy cleared off in, and as soon as your guy on the edge, he just hit the flat. So
think he got the pylon before.
I don't know if he got the ball with the pylon. Watch, his shoulder hits it, but I don't know if the ball hits it. The ball's outside the pylon, so he doesn't need to challenge, though. It's ruled a touchdown. It's going to automatically be reviewed up in the booth.
The previous play will go under review.
Tony Correnti, our referee, in consultation with Tommy Moore in the replay booth to see if indeed this is a Rams touchdown by Pharaoh Cooper. We'll give you the verdict when we come back. The Rams touchdown under official review. Again, all scoring plays under review. So here comes the call from Tony Correnti.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as a touchdown.
Let's go back to what's now officially a touchdown.
So you're going to see the flat route here, but this is who's in coverage. But watch Tavon Austin. He's going to come down, he's going to sit, and he's just going to run. Like I said, if it's offense, it's called a rub route. If it's defense, it's called a pick. But watch Austin. He kind of just gets in the way. He isn't. Now, that's a very fine line, because if he keeps his shoulders to the coverage guy, then that clearly is a block, and that's going to be called. But because he was able to turn his body and really just kind of shoulder him, it ends up being a rub. It's a completely legal play, and it's one everybody around the league tries to use, and that time the Rams were able to make it effectively.
Zerline boots the PAT through, and so Rams a 14-7 lead. So the Rams 2 touchdown drives against the KC defense. So Andy Reid said one of the real points of emphasis was to go deeper into the secondary, including with Nelson and DJ White and Eric Murray at safety. So there's going to be tape against that Kansas City D, and those are just a piece of the puzzle, but it's one that Andy Reid and Bob Sutton wanted to take a good hard look at in preseason game number 2.
Well, and you have to remember Philip Gaines is coming back off of knee surgery, had the ACL injury last year. He's getting more and more reps in practice. I know that's who the team likes to talk about in terms of they feel will be the starter by the time the season rolls around, but he hasn't been able to get in the preseason games yet. But I do know he's getting more and more work here as the Chiefs are about ready to get the ball back offensively. I talked to you earlier, at the top of this, we said the starters were going to play the first half, and I talked about Alex Smith maybe not playing him the whole first half. Let Nick Foles get in there with the one offensive line and get some work. I think after the last series, it's important that Alex get back in there, trying to get some rhythm going offensively again.
Tyreek Hill back to return the kick, but he will not have an opportunity to do so. Touch back out the back of the end zone. So Kansas City ball to 25. That's one of the rule changes in 2016. And sure enough, Alex Smith looks like he's coming out for series number 3. It was a touchdown drive, series 1, a 3 and out. So Smith takes the football with the ones again.
Well, going back to last week's game against Seattle and even this game, every team is having a little bit different approach on the kickoffs because of this 25-yard line on the touchbacks. Some teams, we saw last week, both teams trying to utilize the short kick, getting the high kick down inside the 5-yard line where you can get your coverage unit to make that tackle. With Zerline for the Rams, you're just trying to kick it out of the end zone every time.
Smith 6 for 8 passing. Give to Ware on the counter. And Spencer Ware takes it across the 30-yard line to the 31.
I know I keep harping on this because we talked on the open, we talked about the last, but watch the patience he shows. He comes over here, his eyes, his visions, he lets the block happen. Oh, once the linebacker commits to that outside, he jumps back inside, is able to get an extra 3 or 4 yards out of it.
A-gap?
That was the A-gap.
Good.
He tricked the linebacker.
See?
Gave him that little nod. Good patience.
Smith's going to turn. Ware is shoved back. So the Rams collapse. Give Easley the tackle along with Aaron Donald in there, but it's a loss for Ware, bringing up 3rd down. So after a 3-and-out last drive for the Chiefs offense, you got 3rd down here again.
Well, I said that coming into this game, it was going to be a good challenge for the offensive line, especially a young offensive line. Mitch Morse, the center, only going into his 2nd year. Rookie Anger, that time getting beat to the inside, force that tackle in the backfield, so they need to shore things up front. Looks like they got the Rams to jump that time.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Dominique Easley. Flag there, so go back to 3rd down, call it 3rd and 2.
Well, Easley coming off of that play the last time was a little antsy trying to get in the backfield on 3rd and long. Thought he was going to get back-to-back plays, and Alex utilized the hard count, pick up an easy 5.
Smith, time to throw on 3rd and 2. Deep shot complete. Conley holds it in. Inside the Rams 35. So a whole lot more than the 2 yards the Chiefs needed. Smith to Conley.
There's 2 things I want to show you on this play. First, look at all the guys at the line of scrimmage here. They're going to act like they're going to bring pressure, but Alex realizes he's got one-on-one to the outside with Conley. So when the Rams fake that pressure, only rush 4 and try dropping into coverage, he knows with that one-on-one and the speed that Conley possesses, that's the matchup he wants to go with.
So Conley takes it all the way down to the Rams 30-yard line. Chiefs General Manager John Dorsey is going to join us as the Chiefs try and close out drive number 3. Smith is going to tuck it and scramble, sliding to the 25-yard line. And John, I got to start off. It's the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. There's a lot of history. There's obviously Chiefs history back to Super Bowl I. But what memories do you have of this place, this stadium?
Well, it's one of those iconic venues in all of sport, in all of America. Many times you have you have 2 Olympics here, you have
right.
2 Super Bowls. I think they played a baseball game here.
1959 World Series was here.
Which is fascinating. And to me, and then all of a sudden you have the Pope here. I mean, that's kind of cool. But my most memorable moment probably is 1971, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, on Monday Night Football and punt, pass, and kick.
Now, I like how you're the one who brought it up.
Yes.
In fact, in our conversation with Coach Reid yesterday, he's the one who brought it up. Yes, the Andrew Reid punt, pass, and kick.
Exactly.
Now, I will have to say that Coach Reid made sure to mention that he was in a different age group competition-wise than the much smaller competitors.
Well, he did stand out.
Right, exactly.
Clearly, if we have a chance to show that, we're going to get to it. But the Chiefs just picked up a 1st down, so now 1st and 10 at the 20. They try and get close to tie this thing up.
So Smith from the shotgun on 1st and 10 to the end zone. Macklin holds it in. Touchdown, Chiefs. Smith, another near perfect touchdown drive, finds Jeremy Macklin, and the Chiefs are a PAT away from tying it. That's a big bounce back drive after the 3-and-out. Another touchdown drive for Smith and the Chiefs.
Well, and some important conversions here. You're going to find Macklin here on the inside, and that's where, when Alex sees the rotation, what goes on with the secondary, that's what he ultimately decides that he wants to go with that matchup. See how the rotation of the safeties comes down. Macklin does a little out and up move. Alex freezes that middle safety with his eyes and is able to make an accurate throw up the seam for the touchdown. That was 2 long passes on that drive that really were set up by some of the underneath stuff that the Chiefs like to do. With Conley's play down the sideline, he gave that nod to the inside like he was going to run a slant. Chiefs run a lot of slants.
Nice
and all of a
route.
sudden it gets to the outside. Alex lays it over the shoulder. That time a little nod to the outside up the seam. Touchdown Chiefs.
Santos on for the PAT. And Santos boots it through. We'll visit more with Chiefs General Manager John Dorsey. When we come back to LA, it was Conley down the sideline. Macklin into the end zone. Touchdown. Pete, 14 all. That look from the Goodyear blimp here above Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Carter Blackburn, Trent Green, BJ Kissel on the sideline. John Dorsey here with us in the booth after a successful Chiefs drive. Macklin hauls it in. 3 receptions in the game, including that touchdown from Alex Smith. Santos kickoff. Taken from inside the 10. See the Chiefs D again. All right, let's. Now, this was what you brought up as a memorable moment at Los Angeles Memorial Monday Night Football.
From Los Angeles, California.
Misspelled.
The size differential, of course.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. So that's going to be one of the more infamous graphics.
How was that throw, Trent?
Probably was good enough to win that based on who he's competing against there, but it wasn't a strong throw.
You know, and yet again, it was Coach Reed who brought it up yesterday. Oh, and here we go with the R-I-E-D. Yeah, nice.
I like watching the punt though. We got
That's
when he's
incomplete.
kicking the ball. That's
Knocked away by Peters. So, all right, this is year 4, you and Andy Reid, and obviously the huge momentum coming off of 2015. It's August, you're rolling into 2016. You're making evaluations, you're getting ready for year 4. What is the key to capitalizing on the success of 2015 as you enter what is obviously a new season and new challenges?
Well, you know, I think every year what we've attempted to do after the season is kind of self-evaluate and kind of see where we are in terms of the plan that we laid out in 2013. And you know what, for the majority of Chiefs ball, for the majority, I think we've done a nice job. And we've always tried to say is we're going to build through the draft, we're going to be selective in free agency, and we're going to try to, you know, retain our core guys. And I think we've done that. And I think from an organizational standpoint, we've kind of energized the organization in terms of guys taking ownership within that, you know, within the culture. And, you know, none of that can, you know, happen without the leadership of Clark Hunt and the Hunt family. They've given us every asset we possibly can have. And so, you know, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get those good coaches to kind of build and develop this team, and it's worked out pretty good.
You know what I like about that whole thing, Carter? The calm and the composure that he showed. We just had a sack, fumble, recovery, first down Chiefs in the red zone. And did you see the calm? Did you see this?
A man used to evaluating calmly, coolly, and objectively football, right?
Well, I can watch and speak at the same time and also watch videos the next day.
Bo gets the fumble recovery. So the Chiefs offense back out there. Smith back out there. Flag down as Ware picks his way across the 12. Shoved out. Ware quickly back up to his feet, as is the Rams cheerleader who was knocked over. We'll check the flag.
Well, based on the location of the flag, generally that's a holding call. We'll get through that pretty quick, I'm sure.
Tripping. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Well, John, when you start talking about putting together rosters, you talked about that, your answer just a little bit ago, but when you start looking at linebackers, defensive backs, wide receivers, running backs, you also have to take in the factor of special teams. How much of that comes into play, and do you have those conversations with Coach Reed and with Coach Dave Tobe about, you know, what guys you're going to utilize and pick those spots?
Well, I think that, you know, special teams is such a vital part when you're starting out in your first year, and you have to show that you can you know, contribute on special teams and make a mark for yourself. And then with that, what you're going to do is you're going to learn and you're going to develop and you're going to fit into the scheme of offense and defensive fronts. But the special teams is a huge component as well as how you play the game on defense and offense.
So you see a lot of veterans out there now with the ones and the one offense after Alex Smith takes that sack. But obviously the preseason is huge in evaluating those members of the draft class, and it was a sizable draft class for the Chiefs. So how do you look at the players that you just drafted so far through training camp and now into preseason game number 2?
Well, as you know, we have 9 draft picks, and as you study, you want to see progression day in and day out. And then when you get in the venue, like playing the preseason game 1, preseason game 2, 3, and 4, that's another step that those young men have to make and prove to those coaches that they belong as a 53-man on this roster.
9 players out of the draft, including Chris Jones, who was a second-round first player taken by the Chiefs, but a sizable draft class in 2016.
Well, exactly. I think Chris has done a wonderful job in his first game here, and when he got into the game here early on, you saw him be a disruptive force. And then we have the 3 defensive backs with Russell, with White, and then with Eric Murray. With those guys, you see steady growth out of that. And then when you have the coaches like Emmett Thomas and an Al Harris, these guys are going to develop. It's not a hard thing to go in there. And then all of a sudden you have Parker Anger, who's starting right now. So, all in all, I'm excited about this draft class. And then you have guys down the hill. You have a Daddy Nicholas, you have a Tyreek Hill, and they're beginning to make strides and push to a roster spot.
Talk about the job Andy Heck has done with the offensive line. Last year, there were 9 different starting offensive line combinations. Had a lot of young guys had to play, shifting guys around to different positions. Now this year, as you just mentioned Anger, a rookie starting at left guard. You've got a second-year guy at center and more. So Andy Heck trying to shuffle those pieces together.
I think Andy's done a wonderful job. Anytime you try to put together an offensive line, it's going to take some time. And, of course, early on there were some moving pieces. Now what we have is 5 guys within that line, and they can grow cohesively. As you as a quarterback, when you have 5 guys in front of you, that cohesiveness is very important. And Andy does a wonderful job of keeping those guys dialed in. And then, you acquire the likes of a Mitchell Schwartz in unrestricted free agency. That adds some balance to your offensive line and some stability as well.
Thanks for coming up, John. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you, Trent.
And the Chiefs take the lead, 17-14. Not bad, John Dorsey, here in L.A. Santos' field goal gives the Chiefs a 17-14 lead on the Rams. And now Santos' kickoff will be brought out by Michael Thomas, and Thomas has the seam as he gets to near the 25-yard line. Flag down.
During the return of the kick, holding receiving team number 42. This penalty will be assessed 10 yards, first down.
Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Today was a good day. Even saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp. Red, Trent Green.
Well, I saw that you tweeted something about listening to Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now you decide to reference him during the broadcast.
Yeah.
You thought that was just going to go right by me, that
yeah.
you just referenced.
Now tell the truth. Was that part of your hype music?
Huh?
Getting ready? I mean.
Well, yeah, I'm old enough that that would have been. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Hype music for me too. I was playing at a different level than you were.
That's right.
Jared Goff in at quarterback for the Rams, and it's Malcolm Brown in at running back, stuffed by Allen Bailey after a gain of just a couple yards.
Rough first series for Jared Goff. Chiefs defense made it difficult for him, getting that sack fumble on that first series that he had, and now starting it off with the good stuff on first down.
Number 1 overall pick, getting eaten up right now by that Chiefs defensive line. The sack fumble. And Bailey getting pressure. Goff, slant, that's caught. Tackled by Peters and by Parker. Brian Quick makes the grab on the slant for a Rams first down.
On Peters, that Marcus Peters that time with a giant cushion. Just with an easy slant call, you can see he's not real happy with that. Marcus likes press. He likes getting down in there, and that's a lot of what Bob Sutton likes him to do. So
D Ford's out there at outside linebacker right now on first down. Trying to get pressure off the edge, but slipping through to the second level again. Parker makes the stop from safety. Learn more about Chiefs checking from Central Bank, the official bank of the Kansas City Chiefs, by visiting centralbank.net/Chiefs checking. Chiefs 17-14 lead here on the Rams in Los Angeles. Jared Goff with Malcolm Brown behind him against the Chiefs D. Just one deep safety back for the Chiefs. Malcolm Brown chewing up some more of the turf here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. It's Derek Johnson who makes a stop.
Well, high expectations for Jared Goff. Obviously, the Rams move up to get the first overall pick. They pick the quarterback out of Cal, and a lot of weight's going to be on his shoulders. And right now, Case Keenum is holding him off. Case played very, very well early in this game and had a very productive first week as well. So doing what he can to hold off the youngster, and let's see how miserable the Chiefs defense can make it for him in this second series.
And it's Malcolm Brown again, and the Chiefs rally to the football.
D Ford isolated on the outside. You see him have an outside contain there coming off the block and able to get in on the tackle. And that's the difference from last week. Last week against Seattle, there was a couple times where he collapsed too far inside, and Seattle was able to make that cutback, that bounce back around the edge and not sealing the edge. So learning a little bit from last week and keeping that outside contained, forcing the back up on the inside.
Parker's going to take it up the middle again and stop right around the 40 to force third down. You know, D Ford, we just saw making that play on the last week. We picked up an Olympic fun fact yesterday. D Ford, Auburn University, which is where the Olympic team handball team trains at Auburn University.
Okay.
So just, you know, tying it all back to some of the Olympic competition. Unfortunately, the team handball not successful in the 2016 Olympics, but it's an Auburn tie there for D Ford. Of all places.
I was wondering how you're going to wrap that back around.
Exactly.
I wonder how you're going to wrap it back around, but let's see if you can't get in the backfield here on third down and get some pressure.
8th play, here comes the pressure. Goff scrambling away. Goff is going to tuck it and take the sack. Daniel Sorensen comes flying in.
As a fumble and out of bounds. The ball be placed to the spot it went out of bounds. 4th down.
Sorensen flies in. Pressure from Dontari Poe as well as the Chiefs hound Jared Goff.
Watch all the pressure coming off of this left side here. They drop out everybody on the right side, or what would be the right side of the defense. That's one of the things Jared Goff will learn is you can't pump fake the ball 3 different times and expect to be able to get the ball off. As a young quarterback, you got to make that decision and get rid of it, or take off and run, one of the two, but that many pumps, you're going to get hit.
Flag down, short punt. Frankie Hammond lets it roll, and it'll bounce right around the 27. Now we check the flags.
A lot of discussion going on there. That times the Chiefs brought pressure. They brought up a lot of bodies to what be Goff's left side, but then they flushed the pressure and everybody came over on the right side and dropped the coverage out to his left. So that combination of pressure and maybe some indecision on Goff's part created a good pass rush for the Chiefs.
And the field judge has his hat off as well, so he may have thrown 2 penalty markers on the play. You throw your flag and then
personal foul, number 24 on the receiving team blocking a gunner while out of bounds. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And that would explain the hat off. So DJ White flagged as looks like Nick Foles will take over at quarterback for the Chiefs, up by 3. Alex Smith and his time quarterback in the number 1 Chiefs offense.
Offense was very productive while Alex was in there. You saw the 2 touchdown drives there. 4 possessions in total. 2 touchdowns, 1 field goal. Time to get him out, let Nick Foles get behind that offensive line and see what he can do before the end of the half.
So Foles against his former team, the Rams, and it is Spencer Ware taking the handoff. And we talked to Nick Foles about, all right, you signed in early August and now a couple of weeks in. What is the biggest difference about getting accustomed to the new team? He says, really, it's time with the teammates, time in the quarterback room. And he was, the group of 5 quarterbacks talked about how much fun he's having right now with quarterbacks in the QB room, which, as you well know, that's a big part of the job.
That's an important part of it, not only in the practice and getting ready prepared during the game week, but what happens on game day on the sidelines in terms of whoever's on the field, the other people being the eyes for that quarterback and helping him out with coverages, with blitz, with protections, those kinds of things. And as you can see him flipping it out to Kelsey there and picking up the first down. It's got to be a little weird for Foles, the fact that he was with the Rams a year ago, started off the season as the starter, and then Case Keenum got the final 10 starts of the season. Now here he is playing the Rams, but it's not in St. Louis in the Dome, so it's he's playing a team but in a different city. So I'm not so sure if he feels that, I guess, awkwardness because you're not in the same stadium.
Foles flings it to the outside. Ware makes the grab and gets to the 30, and he was very diplomatic this week. Nick Foles talking about going against his former team, and yeah, sure, it's just want to go out there and play my best football and all of that for Nick Foles.
That's the right thing to say.
So I've reached the 2-minute warning with Foles in at quarterback for the Chiefs, and KC a field goal lead, 17-14 right now on the Rams in LA. Chiefs by a field goal on the Rams. Nick Foles in at quarterback for the Chiefs. And for more on Nick Foles, let's check in with BJ Kissel.
Thanks, Carter. When Nick Foles signed with the Chiefs, a lot of the headlines had to do with his relationship with Andy Reid, going back to their time in Philadelphia. But there were 12 members of this staff that were there together. One of those guys, the head athletic trainer Rick Burkholder, is actually the one who picked him up at the airport. First place they went when he arrived that Thursday was over to Matt Nagy's house. Nagy was the quality control coach. He was the coach who stayed after practice, worked with him every day, stayed in the film room with him, and really helped him develop as a player. But he wanted to see his family when they got here. It really goes a lot deeper than just Andy Reid with Nick Foles.
Great point, BJ. And Nick was quick to say how Matt Nagy and the quality control, that's a title that basically means you work
non-stop. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:54. Thank you.
And Foles was really praising what Matt Nagy did for him in Philadelphia, getting him ready for the league.
Well, the quality control guys are kind of the unsung guys of the coaching staff. They're kind of like everything gets dumped on them. They got to do everything. So you have guys from both sides of the ball, offense and defensive sides of the ball. The quality control guys are doing a lot of the dirty work.
Foles third down, caught over the middle for a Chiefs first down, and it's Albert Wilson who makes the grab near the 45, gain of 12.
Albert Wilson just working the inside part of the field. Foles puts a nice throw right at the face mask level, makes it an easy catch for him and able to pick up the first down.
Foles and the Chiefs go hurry up in the 2-minute offense. Niall Davis makes the grab out of bounds near midfield.
Hobbled a little bit as the tackle was low, and see him staying on the sideline and kind of walk it off a little bit.
Nick Foles, a native of Austin, Texas, where his dad Larry built restaurant chains including Eddie V's and Z Tejas, along with Paul Fleming. So had that restaurant conversation with Nick. He said, you know, one thing I learned was attention to detail. Whatever job you're going to do, whatever profession you're going to have, is attention to detail. And he credited his dad with teaching him that.
Well, I can attest to the fact that playing quarterback is attention to detail. As Chris Conley hauls it in, picks up another first down. The Chiefs have all 3 timeouts, so here we are, minute 18 to go in the half.
Kansas City, this is their first. A 30-second timeout.
Good time to utilize that timeout. Like I said, they have all 3. 30 yards to go. You'll see Conley with a chip there as he's releasing, and chip block on the edge blocker, and then just leaks out late. So he's clearly just going to be a check down. Foles is looking to throw to the left. as he steps up. Conley is his check down off to the right. Kind of unusual to have a wide receiver inside doing a chip block and then releasing late, but see it works very well here as Conley makes the first two guys miss. Gets the ball down inside the 35.
Cole's pretty nifty in the pocket there as well. Chiefs now 6 for 8 on 3rd down, but here comes a flag.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 56. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Team Ayers. Before heading to Arrowhead this year, remember these tips. Prepay for parking online to save time and money. Get to the stadium early for faster entry, and be sure to visit chiefs.com/parking to prepare your own parking game plan. Shot from the Goodyear blimp as the sun sets over Los Angeles. Good looking shot. First down, inside give. It's Spencer Ware inside the 20 as Ware delivers the blows to the Rams defense with now 1:08.
Chiefs trying to hurry up here and get on the line of scrimmage, save those last couple of timeouts.
Foles leading his first drive. Over the middle, incomplete. Through the hands of Wilson in what turned into a dangerous incompletion.
Dangerous is right. Anytime you have a tip ball over the middle of the field, you get a little nervous. I know. I always got a little nervous with that, and makes you hold your breath for a second there till you see it hit the ground. That's never a good thing.
I can almost feel you getting nervous watching that ball float in the middle of the defense.
Well, especially when the ball's down inside the 20, so you're down in the red zone, so the defense is packed in there even closer. So when it tips up in the air, it's a nervous second or two.
First incompletion for Foles. He's 6 for 7. This the 10th play of the drive for the Chiefs. Foles behind and incomplete again, intended for Wilson.
Well, and that's just a matter of footwork for Nick Foles. We talked a minute ago about his escapability and how he can move around in the pocket. That time he stepped up in the pocket, never got his feet squared, so he tried throwing it with his arm across his body. When you have a runner running from right to left, it's hard to be accurate and get it out in front where he can get those yards after catch. Feet are so important when you're trying to make that throw.
Back-to-back incompletions brings up 3rd and 10. Flag down. So the incompletion doesn't matter.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 56. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
It's Akeem Ayers again. That's 2 on this drive.
Yeah, it's they've been able to. The Chiefs have had success. Alex Smith had success with it earlier using the hard count.
Macklin getting friendly with LaMarcus Joyner after the play.
Well, it's usually the second guy that gets caught. It looks like Macklin was the one that started it, actually. When that swing comes in, that could be the flag that...
And there is a flag in the end zone, so...
Well, and this would be huge because the Chiefs were sitting there looking at 3rd and 10, and all of a sudden you get an offside. Then after the play, you get a, unsportsmanlike, which could ultimately give you 1st and goal if it goes against the Rams.
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Personal foul. After the play was over, defense number 19. Personal foul, offense number 20. Both of these players are being ejected for fighting.
Wow. Now the numbers are reversed there. It's Macklin 19 for the Chiefs.
On Kansas City, number 20 on St. Louis.
And obviously Macklin is hot.
So why don't you two walk up the tunnel together?
Right.
You can see Chiefs personnel running over there so that Macklin, Jeremy has somebody to walk up the tunnel with him.
Boy, that's a tough end. So Macklin has a touchdown grab and then ejected for what's determined fighting in the end zone after the play.
I think I'd like to see it again. I know Macklin got in his face, but I don't think he threw a punch. I saw the Rams player throw a punch at Macklin. So it was LaMarcus Joyner for the Rams.
So 3 catches in the game for Macklin, including the touchdown. But Joyner in one of the wrinkles, Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, not on the same tunnel. You got to walk through the same door to reach the 2 locker rooms.
The question is about the multiple fouls. We had already enforced the neutral zone infraction before the others occurred. Therefore, the 5-yard penalty stands. 3rd down.
Well, that's an odd way to get to 3rd and 5.
Well, it's not going to affect Macklin that much. I mean, he's only going to play another 44 seconds. Where it does affect him is on this 3rd down. He's obviously a crucial part of this passing game, especially down in the red zone.
Pulls from the shotgun on 3rd and 5 without his top receiver. Foles, quick hitter to the outside, is caught at the 10, short of the 1st down. It's Tyreek Hill who hauls it in.
Los Angeles, this is their first 30-second timeout.
So Macklin into the locker room. 4th down coming up for the Chiefs with 34 seconds remaining in the half, and therefore Fisher uses the timeout, anticipating the Rams are going to get the football back.
Well, and I think Andy Reid potentially would have called a timeout as well. He was working down the sideline to talk to the officials, or maybe he was just going to see how far it exactly was, whether they're going to kick the field goal or go for it here on 4th down, which it looks like they're going for it on 4th down. It's a preseason, right? You want to?
Sure. Why not? So Matt Nagy, Andy Reid get together. 4th down coming up. Closing seconds of the 1st half here from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Foles in the offense, stays on the field. Going for it on 4th and 2. From just inside, the Rams.
Kelsey one-on-one right here. Nobody down here on him.
Foles swings it to the outside. Ware makes the grab, dives, and has the 1st down. 1st and goal Chiefs as they convert on 4th and 2. Ware makes the grab out of the backfield.
Kelsey was isolated one-on-one on that side. He just cleared it out. They brought with the motion, had the swing gone, and Foles put it in the location where he's able to get up the field, get the 1st down, and by him getting out of bounds, saves his timeouts.
First and goal, but
previous play will go under review.
Presumably checking the spot. Inside of 2 minutes, booth review. I don't think there was much question.
Well, I think the only thing they could question is where his knee went down. Where was the ball when his knee went down? But it doesn't matter. What matters is when he's touched. So, yeah, his knee's going to go down right here. You see the knee go down. The ball's behind, but he hasn't been touched yet. So it doesn't matter until he's touched. So let's see where the ball goes. He hits the ground. He still hasn't been touched. So the ball should be marked at the 7-yard line, which it is, and so this should stand.
Again, where the football is when he goes out of bounds, because as you pointed out, I mean, he's not touched, he's not down.
If anything, they should move it up about 8 inches because he was a little bit over the 7-yard line, but they'll just keep it pat.
So it's
after review, the ruling on the field is confirmed that the runner was out of bounds prior to being touched by a defender. 1st down.
So the 4th down conversion stands. 1st and goal, 29 seconds. Chiefs still have 2 timeouts. After Smith led 2 touchdown drives, it's Nick Foles on his opening drive. 8 for 10 on this drive for Nick Foles. Out of the shotgun again. Flings it to the outside, and that's Wilson who slips, manages to recover and take it to the 5.
Timeout, Kansas City. This is their second. A 30-second timeout.
So 1 timeout left, 21 seconds before the half.
Well, that's a play you're just trying to get out in space, hope somebody can make somebody miss and break through a tackle and with the way the Rams were playing defensively, only rushing 4, dropping everybody into coverage, don't force it in that situation. You don't have to. You see how we showed Foles over there going up to Travis Kelce and, hey, what it looked like on this backside. I know it threw over here, but what they do with you defensively? Did they double you? Did they, that's always an open line of communication you're having, with everybody really, for linemen, from protection standpoint, with your receivers as far as matchups.
Foles trying to lead his first touchdown drive as a Chief. With 1 timeout left, 2nd and goal. Foles to Ware again out of the backfield. He's wrestled down at the 3. Troy Hill makes the stop on Ware.
Once again, a quick throw out to the left. Looks like he gets out of bounds. That's why they didn't have to use the timeout.
Saw the ball come loose, but that was after Ware was out of bounds. 67 combined yards and the touchdown for Spencer Ware here in the first half. 3rd and goal, 16 seconds left before the half. Still 1 timeout. Foles from the shotgun to the end zone for Kelce. Flag down, pass interference coming on Christian Bryant.
Well, that time the Rams decide to bring pressure, which leaves man-to-man coverage, and Foles seeing a size advantage there with Kelce. Tries throwing him one to the corner, but that was a pretty easy call.
There are multiple fouls on the same action. Pass interference, defense. This penalty put the ball at the 1-yard line, and the interference was a personal foul, grabbing the face mask. That'll put the ball at the 1/2-yard line. First down.
Here's a little stutter move right there. You see the face mask clearly grabs the face mask. Pass interference, and then the extra 1/2 yard. So don't forget now, the Chiefs can run this ball. They still have that timeout in their pocket, so it doesn't have to be a pass here. They can still run the ball.
Foles is going to roll. Back of the end zone, knocked away, incomplete, intended for Wilson. 5 seconds showing, still a timeout. Or he sends the ball out there in coverage. What a bizarre drive. 15 plays. So the Chiefs got it with 3:23 at their own 14-yard line. So the 2-minute warning, ejections, penalties. I mean, this has to be one of the oddest drives of the preseason.
Well, and that was odd right there, because you want to throw. There's 12 seconds left and 1 timeout, so you can throw the ball on 1st down, you can run the ball on 2nd down, call the timeout, and still have a 3rd down and utilize. But that play took 7 seconds, so now you've got to settle for the field goal.
Santos' chip shot field goal is good to make it 20-14.
The kick is good. With the game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Thank you.
So we'll have a kickoff to close out the first half. Yeah, that was a drive that had a little bit of everything, but it results in 3 points on the board for the Chiefs rather than a touchdown for Nick Foles.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job of converting 3rd downs. I mean, as you mentioned, they started with the ball on their own 15-yard line after the penalty and moved it all the way down. Had a bunch of 3rd down conversions, found some good matchups. Nick Foles did a good job. I think completed his first 6 throws of the series.
Correct.
Good combination of run and pass, and some strange things happening with the 2 players being ejected, and all of a sudden you get the pass interference and face mask call, and you got time and timeouts, and next thing you know, you're kicking a field goal from the 1/2-yard line. So a rather unusual way to end the half, but a good way to end the half. Get more points on the board, and now go up 6 with 3 seconds to go.
Bulls 10 for 13 on the drive, and what was a 16-play field goal drive at the end of the half. Santos kickoff. Michael Thomas will just take a knee. So it'll be Rams football at the 25. So we'll get one more snap in this odd end to the first half of preseason game number 2.
Been a very long quarter number 2.
Yes, indeed.
Did John Dorsey come up in the second quarter? Do you remember that? Am I like losing my mind?
It was lunchtime.
Did we not have John up here for a while? That seemed like a while ago, didn't it?
That was.
Alex was still in the game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that does seem like a long time ago.
That's right.
Even 2 drives ago, and that 3 seconds back on the clock results in a touchback and a kneel down
of the first half.
And indeed, that is the end of the first half with the score: Chiefs 20, Rams 14. We'll head to the studio with Chiefs reporter Pete Sweeney for the 65 TBT halftime show after this break. You're watching Chiefs preseason football. Los Angeles 20-14, Chiefs on the Rams. We get set for the start of the third quarter in preseason game number 2. Carter Blackburn, Trent Green, BJ Kissel, as we take a look at the game summary brought to you by Farmland Foods. Farmland, passion for pork since 1959. A couple of Chiefs touchdown drives, and the number's good for Alex Smith. A passing touchdown, and he led another touchdown drive that Spencer Ware capped off.
You know, it was very effective first half for the offense. You look at the play of both quarterbacks. I thought Nick Foles did a nice job coming in and getting the ball down the field, long 85-yard drive. Alex Smith did a good job in his times that were in there, scoring 3 out of their 4 possessions, 2 of those 3 drives being touchdowns. So I thought it was very effective first half for the offense. And defense had a few lapses from time to time, but for the most part, did an effective job as well.
And so just like it was in the first drive last week, touchdown drive for Alex Smith, and then the big completions. One goes to Conley and then to the end zone for Jeremy Maclin for the touchdown pass. And let's check in again with BJ Kissel.
Hey, thanks, Carter. I had a chance to talk with Coach Reed going into halftime. He's obviously happy with what he saw from the first team offense and Alex Smith, but he specifically talked to me about that 3rd and 2 connection between Alex Smith and Chris Conley that went for 37 yards. Coach Reed told me that Alex actually audibled out of that play and that he and Chris Conley were on the same page. It's just a great example. We just saw the interview I had with Conley talking about the trust they have between one another, and we just saw a great example of it on that field to set up that second touchdown.
Absolutely, BJ. And so you have Alex Smith last week on that scramble play down to the goal line for Maclin, and then Alex with the audible there to find Conley to convert, setting up another Chiefs touchdown.
Well, and the great thing about it is Alex recognized that the Rams were showing pressure. They had 7 guys stacked in the box. He had man-to-man across the board. He had Conley one-on-one on the outside. But the great thing about it, Conley being a young receiver, understanding that Alex checked to that play, he didn't just go running. He didn't get overexcited and just burst to the outside and try running a streak. He gave the defender a nod to the inside. Chiefs are known for running those slants, so the defender jumps on that little slant move. All of a sudden, Conley gets down the sideline. Alex makes an accurate throw, and you get that big chunk.
Santos kicks off. Michael Thomas back for the Rams. He will take it inside 5. Thomas wrestled down as he gets to the 18-yard line. Demeron Carr in there on the stop for the Chiefs as well. So Rams 1st and 10 with
You'll see some of the backups getting in here. Just saw a look at Rameek Wilson right there, 53. Andy Malumba. A couple of your linebackers. See some rotation, but they're still going to have some of the guys you saw in the first half in the secondary, because they have to figure out who their 2, 3, 4, 5 cornerback safeties are going to be. And so you'll continue to see DJ White, and you'll continue to see Eric Murray. Steve Nelson is still in there.
So as Andy Reid told us, to see a lot of time in the defensive backfield for Nelson, for DJ White, for Eric Murray. And sure enough, they're still out there to begin the second half. Murray, the lone deep safety here on second down, with Goff at quarterback for the Rams. Play action, swinging to the outside, and Sorensen there immediately to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. Sorensen all over the tackle, and it's Marquez stopped by Sorensen.
Timeout on the field for an injured player.
that injury timeout, we step aside. Garmin and the Chiefs invite you to check out the Garmin Verb XE, the HD action camera with G-Metrics performance sensors, overlays. Shoot with the action camera the Chiefs use. I mean, Hollywood's best directors can't make anything look better than the Garmin Verb XE HD action camera, one the Chiefs use. So we welcome you back to Los Angeles. Like that.
That was good.
All right,
yes,
all right.
Yeah, getting that back in there, getting a little Hollywood in there.
I was waiting for.
That's right, getting a little Hollywood mixed in there.
You know, I was waiting for a pat on the back. Oh, and speaking of Hollywood, we have a big Kansas City Chiefs fan and a native of Kansas City. Eric Stonestreet joins us now. Hello.
Hello, gentlemen.
Eric, good seeing you.
Good to see you. Hello, Kansas City.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to come out dressed up as Andy Reid tonight. We've showed some pictures of that in the preseason.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd be working the sideline with your script in hand.
I thought about it, but then I was like, I don't want the responsibility tonight of coaching. I just want to be just a fan tonight. I don't want these guys worrying about my play calling, time management stuff.
You know, speaking of, I mean, that is so spot on. I mean, Eric, I know it's your profession to take on other characters,
right.
but that was an exceptionally fine job with Andy Reid.
That was really fun. When he came to Kansas City, I said, wow, I got a Halloween costume for the rest of my life. As long as he's in Kansas City, I just need a clipboard and a headset and a little stash, and I'm okay. There is action going on here on the field, man.
Hey, Tyreek Hill is trying to get it out of reverse and back into drive, and he's going to lose yardage as Hill, after the 53-yard punt, loses a couple. All right, we're gonna go to commercial, but Eric, we'll get more with you here in just a minute as the Nick Foles of the Chiefs lead at 20-14. Los Angeles Chiefs lead the Rams 20-14. Carter Blackburn, Trent Green, B.J. Kissel, and Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family to Chiefs Kingdom broadcast. So, I mean, Chiefs Kingdom representing pretty well on the West Coast right now.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty impressive, actually. I was just looking in the stands. Rob Riggle's here somewhere as well, and I was just trying to find where he is. He's right here behind the net someplace, but I cannot locate him. I will keep you updated in the booth.
Are you going to talk trash to him like, Rob, what are you doing up in the seats? Why aren't you down here on the sideline like me?
Yeah,
you don't have enough pull? What?
Why aren't you a reporter now, Rob? Why aren't you covering the Kansas City Chiefs like I am?
Do you have any injury updates for us down there, Eric? I mean, you got a nice vantage on the sideline.
No, I come from a Bill Snyder atmosphere. If I knew anything about injuries, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, with the K-State ties. All right, so tell us about the T-shirt you're sporting as well.
This is a Sunday Fun Day. This is a Chiefs exclusive. They partnered up with Charlie Hustle there in Kansas City, and they've done such a good job there, creating civic pride. And so the Chiefs have limited T-shirts. This one happens. I don't know if you can still get this one or not. I had a contact. Had somebody send me this, but I don't know if you can still get this. This was awesome, Sunday Fun Day, but there's 6 of them that they're going to release, so hopefully you can go out and get one throughout the season. But it's a great T-shirt. Oh, pass coming right to me. Okay, turns out he was not throwing that pass to me. It was to 82.
You were ready for it though. Brian Parker makes the grab, intended for Stonestreet. Parker, would you call that an interception? It was intended for Stonestreet. Somehow it ends up in 82's hands.
Get out of the way, 82. Brian Parker. That was to me.
Personal foul.
This is turns out game much faster.
Offense number 75.
Down here.
This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal. Repeat, second down.
I try and tell that to people all the time, Eric. I say as fast as you think it looks from the stands or as fast as you think it looks on TV.
Yeah.
When you're down there on the sideline and you see the size and the speed of everybody, it's pretty amazing.
Can we talk about how big number 74 for the Chiefs is? Dustin Colquitt just walked by.
Just don't back up because he's going to end up like punting that ball.
Right up my butt. I told him I wanted to get into long snapping. Kendall Gammon owes me a long snapping tutorial. I used to be pretty decent at it, and I've lost all my skills, so I want to relearn how to long snap.
You need to work that into the Modern Family scripts.
Well,
you're the coach now.
Well, Cam was a backup center at the University of Illinois. I always wanted him to be the backup long snapper.
Yes, you can have some fun with that. Do a coaching technique to have a scene where you're doing that's right.
Down. Oh, I think I just hurt myself.
Leave it to the professionals, Eric.
Yeah. Get Mitch Morse over here. He can handle it.
Well,
Now,
congratulations on all the success of Modern Family, continued success of Modern Family, and of this summer with Secret Life of Pets. That was a lot of fun. I'm sure.
Did you go see it?
I did. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and so we went.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
went. It was a great movie.
Well, thanks. They just said we're going to do another one, so that's exciting.
That is exciting, and you got a bunch of other projects in the work as well. So that's
it's fun. You know, Trent visited our set. You were out there. It was fun having you. Ty was excited because of your Rams connections.
Yeah.
My co-star Ty Burrell, he's a Rams fan. He's not here today. He's out of town, unfortunately. But this has been fun. I mean, I can't tell you how exciting it is. Just lived in Los Angeles now for almost 20 years. So this is, you know, where I live. Of course, I root for Kansas City Chiefs and the Royals, and I root for the Dodgers. I probably won't root for the Rams. I'm too close to the Chiefs to do that. But it's just so exciting to have football here. The fact that I was coming to a Chiefs game tonight, preseason or not, was very, very exciting. Okay, we got pulls back pass. He's got him right there.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's Niall Davis who makes the grab.
Niall
Bringing up
Davis.
third down.
We'll talk about some of the great work you're doing with Children's Mercy. Obviously, the Big Slick has continued to break records every year with the money you raise, and just your passion for coming back to the Kansas City area and helping out that cause.
Well, you know, Big Slick has turned into such a great event, and that's because of the good people of Kansas City. Our families do such a great job organizing that every year, and of course Paul and Rob and Jason and Dave and I, we just get to come back and be there and sort of be the faces of it. The real work is credited to our family and the people of Kansas City that are, you know, they're a generous city, and we come in and we ask them to give more, and they always do. And Children's Mercy, as you know, is a great hospital. We're so lucky in Kansas City to pulls back. He's got 13. I don't know him. Oh, is this?
That's DeAnthony Thomas.
Oh, that is. Oh, he's back.
The former Oregon Duck.
Or referred to as that dude, right?
Right?
Yes.
He's got that dude.
That's right.
Oh, DeAnthony's back. All right. So
breaking news.
Yeah, we're just happy, you know, to be able to raise awareness and raise some money for Children's Mercy. It's a great place. I encourage everybody to go over there and take a tour and see what great work those doctors and nurses and staff do. And the spirit of the kids will lift you up. You think you're having a bad day, you go over there and meet those kids, and they'll make you feel a lot better about whatever it is you're going through. Colquitt back.
There's your boy Dustin.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Punting it out of bounds like a good boy.
Hey, Eric, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate your insights, your commentary, your play-by-play.
I think it's cute you think I'm leaving. I'm not going anywhere.
You know what? You're welcome. You're welcome to hang out as long as you want. And
great talking to you, Eric. Thank you.
Carter Blackburn, Trent Green, B.J. Kissel back at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And Trey Millard injured on that last punt play. So Millard is down on the turf. And unfortunately, the things you say you never want to see in preseason games, injuries, you have one on either side in the last couple of minutes. One for the Rams, now Millard down for the Chiefs.
Yeah, you never want to see it even in a regular season game, but it's part of the game. Guys understand it. It's an unfortunate part of the game. And, you know, hopefully he'll be okay.
So that's Millard, the second-year pro out of Oklahoma. Fullback playing on special teams. Carted off by the Chiefs training staff. BJ will have an update if we're given one by the Chiefs as Millard carted off with 10:45 to go in the third quarter. Just the second punt of the game by the Chiefs. So,
wasn't it great to have an Eric Stone Street on here?
Absolutely.
That was a lot of fun. They give back so much to the community. He and his friends come back and do the Big Slick. It's great that they come back and support the city and Children's Mercy.
And I liked how Riggle was hiding from the camera while Stone Street was directly in front of the camera. getting in his own play-by-play. I thought that was pretty solid.
That was very solid.
Apropos, and Eric's got some pretty famous wagers over the years with Jimmy Kimmel. I think pay attention to that as the Chiefs season rolls along. See if maybe Eric and Jimmy have some.
They've even maybe had a little on this one. Maybe, I don't know.
You're right.
In the preseason, maybe they didn't go that way, but have to tune in and see if somebody's paying off a bet.
That's right. Season 8, Modern Family. That is an incredible run. Goff play action over the middle. It's complete. There is a flag down. The pass goes for 27 yards. That's Hemingway who makes the grab. Now we check the flag.
Holding defense number 95. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play is a first down.
27-yard pickup.
See it right here. See how Chris Jones grabs the back as he's trying to leak out into the backfield, or leak out into the flat.
Goff pressured. And the Chiefs are going to be right there to ride down Malcolm Brown. It's Ramik Wilson trying to make the most of his playing time. So it was Justin March who got the start. Ramik Wilson out there with the twos.
Well, and these are the two guys battling right now with Mauga out with injury. It had been Ramik Wilson, and as you said, March is the guy that got the nod tonight, got the opportunity to play with the starters. See the Rams having a little problem with the snap there, which causes Goff to be late with the handoff. But Ramik Wilson making the recovery and getting over there for the be in on the tackle. A lot of battles going on, and linebacker is one of them.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Eric Kush called for the false start penalty. So you talk about that inside linebacker. I mean, obviously when you have Derek Johnson, the man in the middle for the Chiefs, but still no Justin Houston. Timetable uncertain for his return. Tamba Hali just getting back in action. Josh Mogg out with a groin injury. So there are a lot of snaps in the preseason for the guys at linebacker trying to make the roster, including Ramik Wilson, second-year player out of Georgia. Goff's pass, tipped, bobbled, and incomplete.
Well, you just brought it up. 3 of your 4 starting linebackers aren't playing, and you'd like to think that Derek Johnson, at the stage he is at his career, he's not going to play a lot of these preseason games. He's been flying all over the field the last couple of weeks, making plays sideline to sideline. So it's a good opportunity for some of these young guys. I wouldn't necessarily say Frank Zombo's one of those young guys, but it's a good opportunity for him to get some work. He's a huge contributor on special teams, and obviously has solidified his position with this team. But for D Ford, Ramik Wilson, Justin March, this is valuable snaps these guys are getting.
And looking hyper mode brought to you by Michelob Ultra, as Malcolm Brown makes the grab on the screen on what was 3rd and long, so now 4th and long as Sorensen comes up to make the stop. Sorensen playing at safety with Eric Berry yet to report. So Sorensen gets a lot more snaps. And I tell you what, the Chiefs are very impressed with the job that Sorensen has done, not just special teams, but defensively as well.
Well, and he's been able to get a lot of work with the ones. Tonight, a lot of that work went to Eric Murray, the rookie 4th rounder out of Minnesota. But Sorensen has proven himself over the last couple of seasons now, going into his 3rd year. Very valuable on special teams, very valuable as a replacement if somebody gets injured or working his way in there. And now he's getting a chance here in the second half to continue to showcase himself.
Thomas lets it bounce into the end zone. Touchback. Foles and the Chiefs offense back on the field, up by 6. To watch, presented by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs.
Well, just to revisit what we talked about at the top of the broadcast, D Ford having an opportunity, and you can see he has the 2 tackles. He had some presence in the run game. You'd like to see him get after the quarterback a little bit better, but Rams shut him down in that aspect. The Chiefs' offensive line play, they did allow the 2 sacks. But when you consider the amount of scoring drives they had, five opportunities in the first half, they scored 4 of those 5 series. It was a productive night for the offensive line. And, of course, the wide receivers other than Macklin. Conley with a big night.
Foles now 13 for 16 passing. That one goes to DeMarcus Robinson for 15 yards.
Well, and this is a guy that he's going to be right in the mix. You know, when you start counting numbers, okay, how many guys? You keep 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers. You start putting rosters together. Okay, who can you get to the practice squad? Who's going to be active? Who's going to be inactive? Who's going to be your contributors? And with DeMarcus Robinson, 4th-round pick out of Florida, the more opportunities he can get, the more times he can showcase himself in these preseason games, it creates more of an opportunity for him.
Motion on the line. We'll see who moved first.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 91. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Another neutral zone infraction on the Rams.
Was that 5 of them?
Yeah, I think that's right. And that one's on Easley. That's at least the second on Easley.
Yeah, those are cheap yards. That's 25 yards, and and some of them have been in key situations, like 3rd down. Well, all of a sudden, instead of 3rd and long, now you're 3rd and medium. So, good way to start after a first down. Now you can take some shots.
Nick Foles playing well into the 3rd quarter with the second-string offense. He's going to hand to Niall Davis, who slips his way across the 40. So manages to pick up a yard out of what looked like a busted play. Niall Davis, the 4th-year pro from Arkansas, coming back from a shoulder injury.
Anytime you say Niall Davis, I just think of that opening kickoff return against Houston in the playoffs. It just puts a smile on your face. I mean, as a quarterback, to start off a game that way and you see it, you're like, okay, hey, you're spotted 7 before you even head out there. So what a dynamic return on his part.
5th time in NFL history, opening kickoff in a playoff game has been run back for a touchdown. It's incomplete. Intended for Brian Parker. And speaking of our crack production crew here at 65 Toss Power Trap Productions, Davis to get it started and what would eventually be the playoff win over the Houston Texans.
Well, and just when everybody's like, oh, don't bring it out of the end zone. What are you, 6, 7, 8 yards deep in the end? Don't do it. Oh, no, go. You know, it's one of those stop. Oh, yes. Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Absolutely. Worked out just like you wanted. 6 yards deep and...
Yeah, it's that old coach thing in you that you're just like, oh, no. Oh, perfect.
3rd and short with the wave getting started. As Reeves takes the handoff and appears to have the first down. And, in fact, he does. So Reeves moves the chains as Niall Davis is going to head back into the game. So the Chiefs now 7 for 10 on 3rd down.
That's incredible. Great job, especially this offensive line. They talked about shuffling some guys around. Munier's at center and Fulton's at left guard. Stirrups at left tackle. Job Reed's over at right side. So they've got some guys they've moved around, moved into some different spots. Pugsley's over at right guard. Got that first down that time.
More motion on the line.
That's going to be 6 on the Rams, I believe.
False start.
Oh, they got the Chiefs that time.
4. Penalty remains.
They get him with the head bob or the shoulder roll or the hand flex. What was it?
False start on the QB.
There's a bunch of different ways they can. Oh, I don't know how you can do that. Let's see. That's a little. I don't know. Being a quarterback, no, that's not a false start. And all those guys, none of them were looking at Foles.
That's more of a balk.
Yeah, none of them.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Good way to bring in that baseball.
Sure.
reference.
Well, former home of the Dodgers here. Foles to the outside. That is complete. To Reeves out of the backfield. Yeah, that was sweet. Talk about the LA Sports Coliseum. It was the year that the Dodgers came out here. The year Andy Reid was born.
Okay,
there you go.
The official that called that was the official that was on the Rams sidelines. So I bet he was just getting worked over because that would have been their 6th, right? So I'm sure the Rams coaches were working over the fact that, hey, watch the quarterback. So that's what I'm going to say. I think all their hard work paid off. They got a call.
Right. You're saying that happens sometimes.
It does
coaches
happen.
will work the officials.
It does.
That was a stunning look at the wave from the Goodyear blimp. Foles is going to complete. Nice completion to Tyreek Hill inside the 35. Now, I want you to give a strong sports take after we see this catch by Tyreek Hill.
I just like the mobility that Nick Foles shows. He's over 240 pounds. He's 6'6". He has the ability to move around in the pocket. He's not looking to take off and run. He's looking to buy time with his feet. That creates separation in the defense, creates seams in the defense. And that time, Tyreek Hill doing a good job settling himself and catching that ball a little bit behind him, but bringing the ball in and getting another first down for the Chiefs. All right, what's the challenge? What do you got for me?
Are you pro or anti-wave at sporting events?
As a player or as a spectator?
I guess overall, but I'd like to hear the player's perspective.
From a player's perspective, it doesn't. It has no impact whatsoever.
You don't even notice.
You don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess unless you're on the sideline, someone points it out and is like, "Oh, look at." I mean, it's not. It's not something you're really concerned yourself with.
And this is, to my understanding, this is it was Southern California. I mean,
you know the history of the wave more than I do. Yes, I don't know.
I always associated with Anaheim, but yeah, the NFL is back.
Well, these older stadiums that are like bowls like this. It's just a straight bowl. That when you do the wave, it kind of it just looks better because there's no breakup with the different stadium levels and all the other stuff. I'll go with you that it started in Southern California because I have no idea.
Flags down as Reeves makes the grab, goes rolling, shoved out inside the 5, and now we'll check the flags.
Holding, offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Holding on Fulton, and we may have another flag.
Also on the play, holding, defense number 47. By rule, these penalties will offset and will repeat, second down.
Fun with Wikipedia. Apparently the wave started in Oakland. A's playoff game against the Yankees. So California, but Northern California.
The other end of the state. That's all right.
And by the way, our statistician tonight in the booth would be Wave Robinson. And we are pro
Big
Wave Robinson,
Big
no matter
wave
how you feel.
With the wave trivia.
John Tobias spotting up here in the booth with us. So when we talk about the wave, the fan. Foles rolling, second down. Back to football.
I'm glad you told me John was even here.
Right.
the booth, the space that we have at the booth. John being the spotter, he normally is like right here, right?
Right.
And now he's like in the second row.
Right.
He's in the second row with the binoculars helping us out. So yeah.
There's, it's an interesting. It is a interesting, unique, and challenging.
See, he's way back over here
at the historic. Right. That's we get to watch a football game and talk about football and the wave.
I went down over here and I saw Eric Dickerson and Marshall Falk. They're doing the broadcast for the Rams, and you should have seen the space they had.
You're right. I noticed that as well as Davis gets stretched out, multiple flags down. Yeah, I noticed the exact same thing.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I poked in, said hello to them and Andrew Siciliano as well, and
they were lounging out a little bit. Yeah.
Didn't escape my notice. They have more of a luxury suite down there.
It's all good. Beautiful night here in Southern California, and Chiefs are playing some good football.
There are fouls against both teams that will offset, cause a replay of the down. Holding, defense number 88.
Need to get Eric Stone Street down there to start reporting numbers.
Yes.
Offside, defense number 98 in the neutral and at the snap. Holding, offense number 88. By rule, these penalties will offset. It will be first down.
Got all that? So yes, the spacious room for the Rams broadcast.
All kinds of room. Andrew's got so much room. Look at him. He can just bounce around in there. He can jump to one side to the other on the other side of the camera. And Marshall and Eric are like, listen, this is my space.
That's right. Foles pressured again. Another flag down as Foles is going to throw near the 10-yard line. Sliding DeAnthony Thomas makes the grab, but another penalty flag.
Impressive catch by DeAnthony Thomas there, digging that ball out of the ground.
Holding, offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty and repeat first down.
Unfortunately, it's not going to count. And it's still first down.
That's right. Well, this is, again, part of what Andy Reid and the point of going into preseason game number 2. You want to mix and match. You want to change your offensive line. You want to play some guys longer in the secondary than they have, precisely for, let's just not say these reasons of multiple penalties, but you're using all of this as evaluation.
That's why it's so important. The practice schedules have changed so much in terms of what training camp is, how many two-a-days you can have, if you can have any, if there's padded practices, how many number of padded practices. It's quite a bit different. So the evaluation process, these preseason games take on so much more value than they did before.
We talked with Andy Reid yesterday saying, all right, how do you differentiate between practices, between training camp, between the preseason games? And he said, hey, there really isn't much differentiation. It's all a part of the reps and all part of the evaluations. If you look great in a preseason game but you don't look great in practice, that doesn't mean a whole lot as well.
Yeah, you don't want the tag, oh, I'm a gamer. I can practice but I can't play. I mean, I'm good in practice but it doesn't carry over to the field. That's not a good tag. It's also not a good tag to say, hey, I'm a gamer. I'm not going to, you're not going to get much out of me all week, because it's hard to trust you when those are the instances.
That is the end.
That is the end of the third quarter. 20-14. We'll return after these messages. You're watching Chiefs preseason football. We move to the fourth here at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The regular season home opener is just around the corner. To claim your spot at Arrowhead, get your Chiefs season tickets now at Chiefs.com or by calling 888-99-CHIEFS. And after you have those tickets, you go to Arrowhead, you can determine for your own self if you're going to participate or not participate in the wave when it comes around.
Yeah, the wave has been going crazy here at the Coliseum here tonight, more than I've seen in a long time. But we're getting a look at how well the Chiefs fans travel. As we look around the stadium, you see tons of red jerseys, tons of Chiefs T-shirts and hats. A lot of these Chiefs fans in LA haven't had much of an opportunity unless they travel up to Oakland or down to San Diego, San Francisco, up to San Francisco, something like that. But coming out tonight.
10th play of the drive. Foles complete again. That's Reeves again. Bring up third down and long, as Foles still looking for his first touchdown drive as a Kansas City Chief. Led that odd field goal drive at the end of the first half.
85-yard drive. Right. It was a great drive. The number of conversions they had on third down, and they just showed a picture there of Andy Reid and talking with Nick and with Coach Reid. Just what's the difference been for Nick Foles with this offense compared to what he had that first year, his rookie year with Andy Reid. He said, well, there's a lot more shotgun. Said some of the terminology has changed. The base concepts are the same, but doing a lot of different things out of shotgun now, more of a spread, and just getting adapted to that. As you can see, he's picked it up pretty quickly though. And when you consider when he got into camp and how many snaps he's been getting these two preseason games.
Screen to Reeves, who manages to dance his way back to the 25. So Santos and the field goal unit back on. But no question that Nick Foles, and after he was, again, the circumstances with the Rams, it didn't end well, but asked for his release so that he could choose which team he wanted to sign with, and that was in large part because of Andy Reid.
Well, and there were several teams that had a pressing need for backup quarterbacks, and automatically those teams came to mind. And I think for Nick, it was just a matter of familiarity. He wanted to go somewhere that he knew the coaching staff, knew the offense. It was something he could make a quicker transition to, and for so many different reasons. You pointed out some earlier with Matt Nagy being one of them, the quarterback coach and co-offensive coordinator.
Santos drills a 43-yarder, well within his.
By rule, a missed field goal from outside the 20-yard line will be brought back to the spot of the kick. It will be Los Angeles ball at the 33-yard line. First down.
I prematurely said that kick was good for Santos after a 58-yarder last week, 43-yarder no good. So no points on the board, 20-14, Chiefs. Is still Kansas City 20, Los Angeles 14 after the kick was no good. So 20-14, let's check in again with BJ Kissel.
All right, thanks, Carter. We're down here with tight end Travis Kelce. Travis, first time under the lights here in the preseason. Just thoughts on tonight's performance?
I think the ones came out here and gave one hell of an effort. I mean, we came out scoring on the first drive, had a little trouble the second drive. I should have caught the freaking ball. But in terms of getting the rhythm going with the offense right now, I think we got a great rhythm, and everybody's playing together as one, so you can't be mad.
One of the things that we can see when we're up here close with you is that you are not shy about getting out on the field and cheering your teammates on, letting them know what you're seeing. Just how much fun are you having out here on the sideline, knowing that your night is done?
I mean, you have to know that these guys are out here cheering for you when you're out there, and I love every single guy in the tight end room and every single guy on this offense. I mean, we really do have, hats off to Dorsey and the guys upstairs for bringing in guys that have great chemistry. You know what I mean? And it's awesome when you get to see everybody out here making plays. We practice so hard during the week that it's awesome to see guys come out here and make plays.
Now, for you individually, coming off a Pro Bowl season, had a lot going on. You got the contract extension. Do you feel any added pressure to do even more with that responsibility?
I mean, I wouldn't say pressure, just accountability, man. Just making sure you do your job. Being a guy, I put a lot of expectations on myself to be the best tight end in the league. I mean, that's just how I wake up every single morning. That's how I'm wired. And to be honest, every single day is just going to be another opportunity to take my game to the next level. And out here was I feel like I got better and saw some looks that will help me take this offense to another level.
When you look at this offense as a whole, you get Jamal Charles is working his way back. He practiced a little bit last week. Some of the younger guys have stepped up and made some plays. Some other tight ends have made some plays. Just how good can this offense be?
It's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, we're deep. We're deep in terms of offensive line and in terms of skill players, which is huge. And even last year, I mean, you see it, the healthiest teams at the end of the year, the teams that are going the distance and are playing for championships. So it's awesome to see how far we can go, but we can only take one step at a time. Take the first challenge that we can, and that's finishing this game and next week going after Chicago.
All right, Travis, we appreciate the time. We're gonna let you go cheer on the defense.
Let's get it.
And the Chiefs defense trying to keep the Rams out of the end zone. Down to the 10 now, Malcolm Brown. And by the way, and speaking of Travis Kelce and the end zone, yeah, there's some creativity involved with 87 once he gets in that end zone.
I think he has a future as a dancer.
Now, I will freely admit I had to ask about hitting the quan. I am unfamiliar with hitting the quan. That's not one I've incorporated into my own moves.
Yeah, I don't hit the quan, but I have teenagers, so I know what that is.
That's bobbled, but caught for a touchdown. But we'll remember this drive as Trent Green saying he does not hit the quan.
I don't.
So a quick strike Rams touchdown drive. A PAT away from taking the lead.
Well, I'm just glad we had Travis Kelce for that drive. We didn't have to talk about it because there was a lot of stuff in there that I really didn't want to talk about. So
it didn't go well.
Travis filled it in nicely.
And that look from Hypermo brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Malcolm Brown with nice hands after the bobble manages to haul it in and get in the end zone for the Rams ahead of Cooper and Adams. Just 5 plays, 67 yards. This is Taylor Bertolette on for the PAT to give the Rams a lead with 10:30 to go in the fourth. And that PAT is good. And the Rams take a 21-20 lead. So a quick strike touchdown gives the Rams a 21-20 lead on Andy Reid's Chiefs. People affected by events such as wildfires and floods need immediate help. You can support those impacted by any natural disasters by texting Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Disaster Relief. Again, text 9099. Red Cross. Wildfires here in Southern California very much on the minds of all in the Los Angeles area. Blackburn Trent Green, B.J. Kessel back at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum after the Rams touchdown drive and PAT. They have the lead. Tyreek Hill runs out to get it inside the 10. So after the short kickoff, Hill brought down at the 23. Here comes another flag.
Are we going to see Aaron Murray here, or are we going to stick with Nick Foles at this point in time? Looks like Murray's over there getting loose.
Chiefs without Tyler Bray, the chip fracture, cervical spine in preseason game 1 last week. So Murray, who will take snaps as a third string quarterback tonight for the Chiefs. There's still 5 quarterbacks on the roster along with Kevin Hogan.
Murray will have the responsibility now of, after that Rams touchdown, of bringing the Chiefs back, try and get this win in the 4th quarter.
Kicking team number 37. On the return of the kick, holding number 52. These penalties will offset and will re-kick the football.
Okay.
Did I just hear excitement in your voice? Is that what that was? I think it's exciting because now Tyreek Hill's going to get another opportunity.
Well, and Tyreek Hill, who has been really the breakout star of training camp, OTAs, and been solid in the first couple of preseason games, but we haven't seen
that spectacular, you know, whether it be a return or a short catch that he turns into a big gain or something like that. Some of it's just about getting opportunities. So that's what this is now, another opportunity. So my guess is no matter how deep in the end zone, if it goes in the end zone, he's bringing it out. Dave Toub likes to be aggressive in the return game. He's shown that with Niall Davis. He's shown it when he was in Chicago as the special teams coach of the Bears. He wants to see what these guys can do. There's an evaluation process going on all these guys as well. And Dave's one of the best in the league.
So another kickoff from Bertolette. See if Hill gets a chance. This one taken by Hill inside the 5. So Tyreek Hill slipping across the 15, turns the corner, ridden out of bounds near the 26.
That's pretty dynamic. You had a couple people dive in that air.
So Hill slips his way across the 25-yard line, and we will see Aaron Murray at quarterback for the Chiefs when we come back to LA. Let's take a look around the AFC West, presented by Volvo of Overland Park. And the big question over the AFC West, the quarterback situation with the Denver Broncos.
Well, if you look at the other 3 teams in the West, it's the quarterback position's pretty solidified. But yeah, they returning Super Bowl or defending Super Bowl champs trying to make a decision at quarterback. And right now it's up in the air. Last week they started Sanchez in the first preseason game. This week they started Trevor Siemian, and still kind of mixed reviews on both. So see what direction they go.
And the Niners right now in Denver. Late night Mile High as Darren Reeves takes it across the 45. So Reeves, the third-year pro out of UAB, University of Alabama at Birmingham, with an explosive run. 16-yard pickup there for Reeves. So Nick Foles goes 18 for 22, 133 yards, and a solid all-around performance from Foles.
Productive night. It was, you think about, he hasn't been here that long. Yes, he has a background with Andy Reid in the system, but the fact that he hasn't been here that long and to be that efficient is quite impressive.
Now he's going to find Rod Streeter, who not only makes the grab, but goes hurdling for a gain of 8 near the 50.
Streeter with a couple productive years in Oakland, and then had an injury a couple years ago and didn't have much of an opportunity last season. Signed by the Chiefs to presumably be the 4th, but he's in competition just like everybody else. So anything you can do in these preseason games to make people take notice is a positive.
Reeves again picks up the first down and gets to the 45-yard line as Reeves looking solid on this drive for the Chiefs. And for more on the running backs, let's check in with B.J. Kissel.
Thanks, Carter. One thing that we've seen with Darren Reeves after a special performance last week, coming out, playing well again tonight, we saw it last year with Sharkandrick West and Spencer Ware, is that running backs coach Eric Bieniemy has these guys ready to play, and when you talk to every one of those guys in that room, he treats all of them the same. He treats Jamal Charles at practice the same way he treats Darren Reeves. It's the reason these guys can step up and play right away like we're seeing from Reeves tonight.
Murray pressured. Murray takes a sack. The football is loose. Recovered by the Chiefs back at the 40. Loss of 10.
Well, just to piggyback a little bit on running back coach Eric Bieniemy, just the job that he's done with these guys last season in particular. I had the fortune my rookie year of playing with Eric in San Diego, and he was the same type as a player as he is as a coach. Very tenacious, very detail-oriented, always giving it 100%. You can see Murray there on the sack, getting the ball knocked loose. Got to protect that a little bit better when you see that thing when you see that pocket collapsing around you.
Second and 25, DeAnthony Thomas. I know, by the way, when we talk about Eric Bieniemy and the consistency with those Chiefs running backs, that is consistent intensity, would you say?
Yes. I've seen him out on the practice field. I've seen him with the guys in meetings or on the sidelines. He's very intense, very detail-oriented. You know, it's something. He has an expectation level, as BJ just told us. It doesn't matter if it's Jamal or Spencer, Charkandick or Nile, or in this case Darren Reeves. He has an expectation. If you're in there, you're the guy. This is what the level's supposed to be.
He did it for 9 years in the NFL. Last stop with the Eagles and Andy Reid. 3rd and 22.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. It will remain 3rd down.
Possession going in the wrong direction for the Chiefs offense.
Yeah, now getting to that the third level of offensive linemen, trying to, these guys are getting opportunities just like Aaron Murray's getting opportunities, and that's not the type of impact you want to make. Not a whole lot of play calls for 3rd and 27.
Over the middle, complete. That's Streeter. Gets it back to the 46. And the punt unit comes on.
Well, this is something that Dustin Colquitt's one of the best in NFL history. Already the best in Chiefs history, but one of the best in NFL history is being able to pin the ball not only down inside the 20, but being able to pin it down inside the 10. So with the ball near midfield, this is an area where Dustin has excelled over his career.
Paul McRoberts back to return. This will make big tackle. Flag is down. Demarcus Robinson makes the special teams tackle, but
well, we've talked throughout the game about making an impact on special teams, especially if you're one of those guys trying to make a roster spot. Demarcus Robinson is that guy. Being a 4th-round pick out of Florida, getting a chance. He's had a couple catches here in the game and now making a big impact with a special teams play.
We saw James Winchester and the rest of his special teams mates over there to make sure and give him congratulations coming to the sideline.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team. Penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So the special teams unit, Colquitt manages to hang him back, and then Robinson flying in for the stop to pin the Rams back. Tonight's game is brought to you by DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy sports destination. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer. The Kansas City State Company, taste, it matters. And by Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. It's Randy Newman who said, "I love LA." Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. With the Rams on top of the Chiefs, 21-20, 5:59 left in the 4th. Let's check in again with BJ Kissel.
All right, thanks, Carter. We're down here with receiver Chris Conley. Chris, when we spoke last week, you and I talked about the trust and the relationship that you have with Alex Smith. We saw that in the first half, that 3rd and 2 play, the 37-yard hookup. Just walk us through what you were thinking and what you saw in that play.
Well, great call by Coach Reed. Alex recognized the defense. He actually audibled at the line, communicated it out to the receivers, and great throw down the field. And trust, that's a trust play right there. It's something that you necessarily can't see straight off the line, but the quarterback throws it and trust that it's there.
Do you think that's the kind of play that you and Alex would have hooked up with last year, or is that development showing itself on the field?
I don't think so. There's always possibilities, but that comes from time, being in the film room, but also just being on the field with each other, getting to a point where we understand what each other's thinking, and to the point where he communicates where he wants me to be on the field.
What did you notice from the corner that caused you to make that inside move?
It's just they've been playing a lot of cover 2 today, and some 2-man where they play inside leverage, cover 2, a little cheat. And we recognize that leverage, and we know that they're going to respect the inside move, and so we were able to pick them up on a go route.
I know you've been asked about this before, but your relationship with Jeremy Macklin and helping you develop throughout the offseason, just how has that gotten you ready throughout this training camp? I know you missed some time last year, but throughout this training camp and through 2 preseason games.
I think that in and of itself is a big deal. Last year, I was just coming back this week in the preseason. This was my first week back on the field. I wasn't really practicing, kind of got into the game, didn't really know what was going on. But at this point, I've been through a full training camp now. I've been able to get a lot of reps with the ones, a lot of reps with Alex. The offense is fluid, and I understand it. And now it can really be about, winning those one-on-one matchups.
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate the time.
Oh, well said by Chris Conley. To see Tyrell Adams make a nice stop for the Chiefs. So that big grab for Conley as part of the touchdown drive, the biggest highlight of the night, but solid all around.
3rd down conversion with a back shoulder throw. You can see this is the big play that Chris was just talking about. He said he felt the corner playing with inside leverage, gave him a quick nod to the inside, got up the sideline, and just the connection there, very timely for Alex Smith and the Chiefs offense.
Goff still in at quarterback for the Rams. And it's Terrence McGee, ball carrier, nothing doing on the right side. Russell and the Chiefs rally to the football.
Well, and this is as big a 3rd down as we've had the entire game. The Rams were able to get it away from the end zone with the 1st down, and now a 3rd and long. The Chiefs, if they want to have an opportunity to get the football back, you got the 2-minute warning. You still got a few timeouts in your pocket. Get a stop here on 3rd down. You're giving your team good field position and plenty of time to work with those timeouts. What'd you say? Cairo hit a 58-yarder last week, right?
That's right.
So you don't have to get it too far to get him in position for a attempted game winner.
Screen incomplete as Adams makes sure that it's separated from McGee. Tyrell Adams, his 2nd year pro out of West Georgia, from the Gulf South Conference, West Georgia, on the practice squad last year, making a couple of nice plays in his playing time here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, he put himself a heck of a career at West Georgia, came up with many college awards in his conference, and made a couple nice plays here on this series to get the Rams off the field and give the Chiefs offense some decent field position.
D'Anthony Thomas back to receive the punt. Grabs it at the 35. Thomas gets a couple of blocks, slips his way across the 40. So with 3:36 to go in the 4th, Chiefs down a point. Murray and the Chiefs offense back on the field in LA. College football returns to Kansas City on October 1st when MIAA rivals Northwest Missouri State and the University of Central Missouri meet at Arrowhead. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. While we have a moment, want to make sure Justin March, we visited with him yesterday. He made mention his father, Randy Lillard, dealing with some health issues, and Justin both wanted to wish his dad the best and mention again that every time he takes the field, Justin says it is with his father as an inspiration. So I want to make sure and mention that on Justin's behalf. Chiefs offense back out there, and after a perfect 3 for 3 on the last drive from Murray, he starts off with a completion to Hammond for 30 yards.
Well, and Frankie Hammond Jr. here with just a skinny post, and Aaron Murray after the play fake, putting it right on his numbers, allowing him to get those yards after catch. Now already down inside field goal range.
Third-year receiver out of Florida. So 3 minutes on the clock. All 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Murray flings to the outside. That's Deron Brown out of Northern Illinois, who goes rolling inside the Rams 20.
Well, that's a huge pickup on first down, because now it gives you a bunch of different options here on second down. How aggressive do you want to be? Do you manage the clock? Do you manage it to the point where the Rams have to start using some of their timeouts because you know you're already in field goal position? Or from a Chiefs standpoint, do you stay aggressive, try and get it in the end zone, get that touchdown, as opposed to just trying to pick up first downs and use up the clock?
5 for 5, second and short. Reeves with them in the backfield. Reeves will take the handoff, have a first down. Reeves keeps it rolling inside the 15. Finally wrestled down at the 12, and another tough run by Reeves. Timeout with 2:07.
And by getting the first down and staying in bounds, that's what forced Jeff Fisher to call that timeout.
Timeout. Los Angeles, they're first. A 30-second timeout.
Reeves is running tough again.
He's had several nice plays tonight. He's really going to make things difficult on John Dorsey and Andy Reid. They're just stacked at running back right now. I mean, from top to bottom. So another strong performance from Darren Reeves. If you look at the clock's down to 2:07, so Jeff Fisher calls that timeout. So it really ends up being, you know, because of the 2-minute warning and that, it's good management on his part.
Murray's going to feed Reeves again on the right side. Takes it inside the 10. And we've reached the 2-minute warning.
The 2-minute warning.
So down to the wire again, 21-20. Murray and the Chiefs offense trying to escape LA with a last-minute win. Inside of 2 minutes, Rams lead it by a point. Aaron Murray to Reeves again, trying the right side again with flags down. Reeves loses a yard.
Holding offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Second-year pro Curtis Fate with the holding call. You know, if I'm Aaron Murray right now, I'm getting a hold of Darren Reeves and I say, listen, I understand you have speed and you like to bounce it outside and those kinds of things. You need to have 2 hands on the football. He was swinging that a little wide, and I'm just saying, if I'm the quarterback in the huddle, I'm going in, I'm saying, listen, I understand you're trying to bounce it, but when you see anybody around, you got to grip that with 2 arms, because that's the only thing the Rams have going right now is to try and get the ball loose. As the bobbled snap there.
Loose football. Rams appear to recover, and they do.
Flags roll the fumble, recovered by number 41.
Washington recovers the fumble from Murray with 1:49, giving the Rams the football with a 1-point lead.
Well, and I thought that looked like a bobbled snap. That goes for Aaron Murray as well. If you end up with the ball in your hands, and you know that's what defenders are taught to do in this situation, try and punch the ball out and strip the ball out. Do whatever you can, and that's unfortunate because he'd done a nice job getting him in this position to begin with. Now, you have to remember the Chiefs still have 3 timeouts, so they can get this ball back, just making it a lot more difficult on themselves.
So for the Chief defenders, 3rd and 4th on the depth chart, who had the inauspicious end to preseason game number 1 against the Seahawks, giving up the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. They will try and get the football back.
Timeout, Kansas City. This is their first. A 30-second timeout.
To give the offense and Cairo Santos another opportunity for the football to try and get a win in the closing minute of the game. Stop number 1 on McGee. Minute 45 and 2 timeouts left.
Well, just to be a little nitpicky, I thought the Rams had a legal procedure there. They were in motion as the ball was being snapped, and you could say, well, yeah, you can't have a guy in motion. The problem was the line was, when he started his motion, everybody else wasn't set for a second. So you can't start your motion before everybody else is set. And looked to me like they got away with one there.
Dogs still playing well into the fourth quarter. He again stopped near the line. Another timeout.
Kansas City, their second. A 30-second timeout.
1 remaining, bringing up a big third down. So next weekend, we're at Soldier Field in Chicago, and then wrap up the preseason Green Bay Packers on September 1st. All getting set for week 1.
Getting ready for the NFC North.
Yeah, that's right.
Other than the football tonight, because we've had a lot of good stuff to talk about football, probably you referencing a Randy Newman song and an Ice Cube song all in one broadcast.
We didn't even get into Isaac Hayes and his fantastic entrance here at the Wattstacks concert in '72.
Stop.
There is the stop. It's going to bring up 4th down and 1. Chiefs used their last timeout. Yeah, I'll just summarize.
Timeout.
Summarize your musical references.
Third and final timeout of regulation.
There's never been a grander
30-second
entrance
timeout.
into a concert than Isaac Hayes in a Rolls Royce coming down the tunnel, driving right onto the field into the back of the stage to wrap up that 1972 concert. Wattstacks, Isaac Hayes. Look that one up.
Look that.
Yeah, look that one up. So Murray, after the fumble, getting loose on the sidelines with hoping to have a chance to win it in the closing seconds here in Los Angeles. So,
well, you got a dynamic returner in DeAnthony Thomas with the potential to take it back as well, give you some good field position to start with. Minute and a half, no timeouts, but that's more than enough time to get into field goal range.
Thomas backing up, fields it right around the 20. Looking for a block on the edge. Thomas turns the corner, shakes his way out of bounds near the 30-yard line with a minute 22. Remember Cairo Santos, who missed a 43-yarder earlier but made a 58-yarder in preseason game number 1. If that had been a regular season game, then I would have tied the franchise record. But first, Murray and the Chiefs offense has to move it down the field to give Santos a shot.
Well, and if you go off of Santos last week, they need to get 29 yards to make that a 58-yard field goal. So 29 yards to get them in position before you could, try and tie Cairo Santos. But as a young quarterback who just had a big mistake, you had your team in field goal range, you had a big mistake on the fumble. This is a great opportunity for him to lead his team down and get him in position. So you've got to be able to put that negative stuff behind you. It's that old thing, Coach Vermeil always used to tell us as a team, it's one snap and clear. I don't care if you have a success on a play or it's a negative play, one snap and clear. Whatever your mindset is, you've got to focus on that next play, and that's really what Aaron has to be doing right now. And even though that was an errant throw, you got to let that go. You've got, you got a minute 18, and you got to put your team in position. So nothing but good thoughts here and trying to make it happen.
Murray on second down. It is batted and incomplete. Third down in a hurry.
Batted down, ruled incomplete. Third down.
You knew Greg Williams wasn't going to sit pat all night and not bring any pressure, so he stacked the line of the Chiefs and didn't bring everybody, but had a nice combination there to cause some confusion.
Third and 10 for Murray. Steps and delivers complete. Out of bounds. Hammond makes the grab, but he is ruled out of bounds, bringing up 4th down.
Well, and that one just sails a little high. Hammond does a nice job, great job really of bringing this ball in. Let's see. First one looks in. I don't know if he drags his toe. Did he tap that toe? This has got to be reviewed by the booth. This can't be reviewed on the sideline.
And sure enough, replay booth's going to want to take a look.
This is interesting. It looks like that first foot gets down. You can see
play is going under review.
You can see there's green between Frankie Hammond Jr.'s foot and the sidelines with the first foot coming down. It's whether or not the second one taps. And then you have to see if he finishes the catch. So this one looks like he's in. Let's see if he taps this second toe or drags it. Does he brush the grass? The thing that you try and see is does any grass flip up? Does any grass from the toe drag, does it? It looks like you can see it. Looks like right there. But is it going to be enough to overturn it? Let's see if he finishes the catch all the way through. He hangs onto the ball, secures it, doesn't bobble it at all. So he finishes the catch.
If it is incomplete, it'll be the first time tonight the Chiefs have had 3 straight incompletions.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is an incomplete pass. It will be 4th down.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I don't know if you could say it's confirmed. Confirmed means you can visually see it. I don't think it confirmed. I think you say the play on the field stands because you couldn't tell one way or another. Now, you could argue there was some grass that flew up there, but they said confirmed, so that means they saw visual evidence to prove it. So,
but either way, not enough to overturn it, so 4th and 10. Trailing by a point, just over a minute left. No timeouts. Murray on 4th and 10 to the sticks. It is knocked away and incomplete. Intended for Mike Williams. And that will seal a Rams victory with 1:02 and no timeouts left for the Chiefs. Frustrated Aaron Murray back to the Chiefs sideline.
Well, and it's going to be 2 tough losses. It's the preseason, but you still want to win football games. You still want to come out and perform well. And after last week's game against Seattle with the jump ball to midfield, the jump ball into the end zone at the end of regulation, and then tonight being in field goal range and having the bobbled snap that ultimately cost the ball game, it just makes it frustrating. Like I said, they have to be happy with the way the first offense performed. I think you have to be happy with the way Nick Foles and the second offense performed. I think that there's a lot of positives that take from it. It's just, even though it is the preseason, you'd still like to come up with the wins.
It's still a bummer, though, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. But like I said, there's a lot of things you can feel good about. I think you got to feel better about the second offensive line this week compared to last week. The protection that they gave Nick Foles, some of the running that they did. I thought Darren Reeves played a nice game. Spencer Ware did as well. There's Chris Conley's play that stood out. There's still some areas that need to be addressed, but that's what it's preseason game number 2 for. So,
and the 2 natives of LA, Jeff Fisher and Andy Reid, handshake at the end of that one. Another 1-point loss in preseason as LA wins it 21-20. So that is the end of the game here in Los Angeles, 21-20. Rams win it over the Chiefs. Tune in next Saturday as the Chiefs travel to Chicago to face the Bears. Kickoff is noon Central. Also, stay tuned in Kansas City to KCTV5 for post-game coverage, followed by a new episode of Chiefs Blueprint. For Trent Green, BJ Kissel, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. See you next time, Saturday, in Chicago.